World Defying Dan God Chapter 4941, Fairy War Conference. Feng Chen is actually just a small person. Brother Feng, are you too modest? You must be a big man. Chen Shang didn't believe that Feng Chen was a small man. Brother, you're new, you don't understand. Feng Chen drank his wine, waved his hand and said, in Tianlong Zuxing. Or even in the whole Yishan, as long as they are not sect disciples, they are all trash. They are all idle people and so on. They are all nameless people. The disciples of the sects of the other heavens look down on us very much. And the heroes from all walks of life, in the end, most of them entered the sect, and then distanced themselves from me and other miscellaneous fish. Sect disciple, Chen Shang frowned. Yeah, it's those sects of immortal cultivation. Feng Chen said. Since the change of Tianlianji, Yishan has begun to cultivate the way of immortals. This has opened up a new path for Yishan spirits. Chen Shang was very shocked, and then looked at Guo Lingshe and Meidian Yao. Because they guessed before, the reason why the great Yishan has developed into what it is now must be something changed in the Tianlianji. Guo Lingshe and the others, the Yishan before them, began to decline after Tianlianji and began to take a devious path. Brother Feng, how can I enter the immortal cultivation sect? Chen Shang asked. He remembered that Yathianmen was also a immortal cultivation sect. It's very difficult for outsiders to get in. There are only a certain number of places every year, and you need to pass the very strict assessments of those immortal sects to get in. Feng Chen said. I can't pass anyway. For more than 1,000 years, I also have a few friends who have passed, but never contact me again. Brother Feng, those friends, have you helped them? Chen Shang asked. I have helped. For thousands of years, I have helped countless people. Give them a lot of resources to help them get through the difficulties. Feng Chen shook his head and smiled, and after drinking a large bowl of wine, he said, to be honest, I also have selfishness, so I hope a solid friend. After entering the Shushan sect one day, I still remember this friendship. It's a pity, alas, not to mention it. Seeing Feng Chen smiling, but Chen Shang and the others felt very worthless for him. Although this is always the case, Feng Chen still does it. It can be seen that he really likes to make friends, even if there is no result. Big brother Feng, you have so many resources, why don't you cultivate yourself well and enter the sect of Shuxianzong? Chen Shang said. You should be able to. No way. The way to cultivate immortals is about immortal fate. I have no immortal fate, and my cultivation has been stagnant for hundreds of years, and there is no hope. Now relying on me to do business, I can earn more resources in exchange for life-extending pills. Medicine, Feng Chen said. From Chen Zhang's point of view, an environment with such a strong creative power like Daishan, as long as it is not at the top, then it is unlikely to have any restrictions. Feng Chen's failure to cultivate may not be related to his innate talent, but some kind of law restricting him. Brother Feng, what is the most powerful immortal sect? Chen Shang asked. The strongest should be Yathianmen. Feng Chen said. Because of the legend, Yathianmen once defeated the demon ancestors. These words made Meidian Yao and Guo Lingshui's eyes glow, and they were secretly excited. They were so powerful that they could defeat the demon ancestor. Is it so powerful? Brother Feng, do you know how to join Yathianmen? Chen Shang asked. Brother, you are really young. Feng Chenlang smiled and said, like many young people, you wanted to join Yathianmen from the very beginning. Everyone is so strong. Chen Shang also laughed. Big brother Feng, Yathianmen is strong, or demon ancestor is strong. It must be the strongest demon ancestor, but the demon ancestor can't help Yaoshan sect. Feng Chen said. The demon ancestor did not create the immortal cultivation sect, but Long ancestor and Zan ancestor have both. So the immortal cultivation sect under the Yaoshan sect has it, that is Xuanzu's Xuanmen and Longzu's Yishan Longmen. How to join? Chen Shang asked again. Ha ha ha, no drama, no drama. Feng Chen waved his hand and said, unless you can perform well in the competition held by Yishan Longmen soon. What big competition? Chen Shang continued to ask. Very lively immortal battle conference. It's a big competition for Shu Xian Zongmen, and it's also a conference to recruit outstanding disciples. Feng Chen said. Will Yathianmen participate? Meidian Yao next to him couldn't help but asked. Generally speaking, maids can't interject, but Feng Chen didn't care at all. Of course I will participate. Yathianmen will participate in every session. Feng Chen said with a smile. Especially this session, they want to participate even more. To Big Brother Feng, I heard that two Yishins collided and captured another Yishin's Yaozu and Longzu. What's going on? Chen Shang asked. This incident is shocking. I didn't expect that there is another Yishin. That Yishin is equivalent to our Yishin's past. That Yishin is still very young. Feng Chen said solemnly. It's also because the different days collided together, so the Immortal Battle Conference was held in advance. Did the demon ancestor take action to catch the Yao ancestor and Long ancestor? Chen Shang continued to ask. Yes, that Yaozu is very important, because this is something we don't have. Because in our Alatian, Yaozu died very early. He is also one of the founders of Yathionman. I don't know two differences. What kind of changes will the sky collide with? Feng Chen said. Then Yathionman will go to save the other Yaozu who is a little different. Chen Shang asked. Anyway, that's Yaozu, although it's not the one they are familiar with. But it's still a bit related, right? I don't know. Maybe, the demon ancestor wants to exchange something with Yathionman through that Yaozu. Feng Chen finished speaking and laughed. These are all rumors, how can we little people know about the big people? By the way, Big Brother Feng, can my son participate in the Fairy Battle Conference? Madian Yao asked, if you participate in the Fairy War Conference and perform well, can you enter Yathionman? Generally speaking, those who do not join the Shu Xian sect are all loose cultivators. They are also called trash fish. Feng Chen said, anyone can participate in the Immortal Battle Conference, but the premise is that they need to pass the previous assessment before they can get one level. Only when you get to the top can you be noticed by the Shu Xian Zongmen. There are 18 floors in the Immortal Battle Conference, and we trash fish can be considered excellent if we reach the 5th floor. The 5th floor is considered excellent, right? What level does it have to be in order to be favored by the Shu Xian Zongmen? Chen Shang asked. When you go to the 5th floor, there are Shenxian sects that have a fancy. It's just some small Shenxian sects. If you want a large-scale Shushan sect, you have to go up to the 7th floor at least. Feng Chen said. What is the 18th floor like? Madian Yao asked curiously. I don't know, it's different every year. It's basically all kinds of tests. It's easy to die if you fight and kill. In short, if you go to a scattered cultivator to participate, in all likelihood, you won't be able to come back, and you'll be killed. Feng Chen sighed, many of my friends died at the Immortal Battle Conference. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4942, Tenten Temple. Chen Shang has already decided to participate in that Immortal Battle Conference. As long as you perform well, you can enter the sect. This is a good opportunity to enter Yathionman. Brother Feng, I want to participate in the Immortal Battle Conference, do you think it's okay? Chen Shang asked. Of course not, how can a young man like you just go down the mountain and go to die? Feng Chen's eyes were rounded, like an elder, and he said sternly, you can't go. The Fairy Battle Conference is basically there is no return, especially the loose cultivator. My master thinks I can participate. Chen Shang scratched his head and said, Master asked me to find a way to enter the Shu Xian sect. Does your master really say that? Feng Chen frowned and said, does he have a token or something? If your master is also a disciple of the Immortal Cultivation sect, he should give you some tokens to introduce you to the sect. No, Chen Shang shook his head and said, it seems that I can only pass the Fairy Battle Convention. That won't work, you will die if you go. Feng Chen quickly waved his hand and said, you at least have to wait for the next session, right? You should take a look at this session, understand it, and then prepare for the next session. You can go back after cultivating with me for 100 years, as long as I can afford it, I will give you what you want. Chen Shang can't wait 100 years, even though 100 years is not a long time for him. Brother Feng, my son is very strong, said Madian Yao. Little girl, what do you know? No matter how strong you are, it's a loose cultivator. There are many disciples of the Immortal Cultivation sect at the Immortal Battle Conference. They go to the Immortal Battle Conference to learn from each other. They are all immortal cultivators, and they will click on each other. Stop, but when they face loose cultivators, they kill like chickens. Feng Chen shook his head. In each Immortal Battle Conference, how many loose cultivators can enter the Immortal Cultivation sect? Chen Shang asked. 1 or 2. But these guys are not ordinary loose cultivators, they are all descendants of aristocratic families. They all have strong financial resources behind them, plus their talents. Feng Chen said. In short, there are many children of such aristocratic families, but most they all died at the Immortal Battle Conference. Chen Shang and the others also know that the competitiveness of this great alien is also very great. Even the children of the wealthy family can hardly enter the sect of immortal cultivation, which means that the disciples who can enter the sect of immortal cultivation are all talented people. By the way, young Master Shen, what does your master do? What field do you major in? Feng Chen smiled and said, if it's inconvenient to say, then forget it. My master is an alchemist, and I am also an alchemist. Chen Shang replied directly, and said, to be honest, I am very average in fighting against people. What, are you an alchemist? Feng Chen was so shocked that his eyes almost popped out. He immediately stood up and looked at Chen Shang in disbelief. What's wrong? Is it strange? Chen Shang asked. Your master's heart is too big. Let an alchemy disciple come out and wander around. And there is no one around to protect, just two cute little girls follow. Does your master think you have a long life? Feng Chen still couldn't believe it. Chen Shang is the apprentice of the alchemist. Big brother Feng, is it rare for people who make alchemy? Chen Shang asked. Nonsense. It's not only rare, there are more than 200 million people in this Anlong city, and no more than 5 people who know alchemy. Feng Chen whispered. By the way, you know about alchemy, don't say it. Quote. Although Feng Chen had never seen Chen Shang refining pills, he believed what Chen Shang said. Is it so few? Chen Shang was very surprised. Mei Tianyao and Guo Lingshe didn't find it strange, because in the little Yishan they were familiar with, there were very few people who knew how to make alchemy. Brother Feng, my son knows alchemy, so can he enter the sect of Shu Xian? Guo Lingshe asked in a low voice. Unless Brother Shen can prove that his alchemy inheritance is legitimate, otherwise, he will be dealt with. Feng Chen lowered his voice and said, there are so few alchemists, on the one hand, it is difficult to get started, on the other hand, it is secretly restricted by some people. How to limit? Chen Shang asked. Alchemy. If you can't prove the origin of your alchemy technique, and the alchemy technique is not inherited, it will be regarded as stealing alchemy techniques and will be dealt with by the Tiandan Temple. Feng Chen continued. Your master has been hidden from the world all the year round. He realizes the alchemy technique by himself, and then inherits it from you. He should explain this to you, otherwise it will be too dangerous for you. Chen Shang understood, the Tiandan Temple controls the number of alchemists, so, if you want to make alchemy in a fair and honest way, you have to get the approval of the Tiandan Temple. It can be said that the Tiandan Temple controls a large number of alchemists, so the major cultivators have to look at their faces. In addition, the Tiandan Temple controls the number of alchemists, so that the alchemy technique is very rare and valuable, giving them a detached status. Mei Tianyao and Guo Lingshe looked at each other, because this set of gameplay is similar in their little Yishan. Chen Shang is very disgusted with this kind of rule. Brother, if you can't prove it, then don't go around saying that you know how to make alchemy. Otherwise, if the Tiandan Temple comes to you, I can only arrange for you to run away. Feng Chen urged very seriously. Understood, thank you big brother Feng for telling me. I must keep it in my mind. Chen Shang quickly thanked. Since my brother knows how to make alchemy, it means that he has entered the alchemy way. This alchemy way is also considered to be the way of immortality, and it is also the king's way in the immortal way. Feng Chen was very pleased and said with a smile, if I can make friends with my brother, it can be regarded as a touch of immortal fate. This little thing of helping you is not worth mentioning. Finally, Feng Chen arranged for Chen Shang to stay in a quieter place, away from those small buildings. It was in a garden with only one small building. This is because Feng Chen was worried that Chen Shang was in contact with too many people, and then he leaked his mouth. In Feng Chen's eyes, a young man like Chen Shang could do anything in order to be in the limelight. After Feng Chen left, Mei Tianyao and Guo Lingshe took off their veils. Young master, our 2 little girls can't protect you, so you should keep a low profile. Mei Tianyao giggled. Speaking of which, big brother Feng is really warm-hearted. Guo Lingshe said. I want to participate in the Immortal Battle Conference. Chen Shang said with a smile. Since we already know that it will be held in Tianlong Ancestral Star, it will be much easier to participate, so don't bother big brother Feng. Brother Shen, if you just slip away like this, you will be somewhat unkind to big brother Feng. Said Mei Tianyao. Mr. Shen, let's stay here for a while to learn more about things through big brother Feng. Guo Lingshe said, when it's almost time, we'll go to the Immortal Battle Conference. You said, during the Immortal Battle Conference, will Tianzu level characters show up? Charming Tianyao said. After all, it will be held in Tianlongzuxing, so the great dragon ancestor is very likely to appear, right? If there are people at the ancestor level, then we have to keep a low profile. Guo Lingshe said. Let's see the situation then. Chen Shang said. Mei Tianyao was upstairs, opened the window to look outside, and said in a low voice, that guy named Lu Yi is here. What is he doing here? World Defying Dan God Chapter 4943, The Son of Evil. In fact, Lu Yi looked to many people as a relatively handsome young man, but because Chen Shang opened his eyes and could see directly that Lu Yi was not a good person, in Chen Zhang's eyes, Lu Yi looked very ugly. I forgot to ask Brother Feng about this guy before, he looks like a follower. Chen Shang whispered. If Lu Yi was Feng Chen's trusted subordinate, it would be very troublesome for Chen Shang, because Lu Yi made Chen Shang very uneasy, and he was a bad guy. After Feng Chen came downstairs, instead of knocking on the door to come in, he kicked the door open. What is this **** doing? Mei Tianyao cursed in a low voice. Let's go, we'll meet him when we go down. Mei Tianyao and Guo Lingshe quickly covered their faces with scarves, and then went downstairs with Chen Shang. Lu Yi was standing in the hall, waiting for Chen Shang to come down. What are you doing? After Chen Shang got down, he asked coldly. I didn't do anything, I just came to tell you about the rules here. Lu Yi said with a fierce expression, let you know, it's not free to live here. Did Big Brother Feng ask you to come? Chen Shang asked. Of course not, didn't he tell you about me? Lu Yi sneered. No, who are you? Chen Zhang's fists were already clenched. I'm his adopted son, I specialize in helping him with all kinds of trivial matters. Lu Yi sat down and crossed his legs and said, listen, from now on, everything has to be obeyed by me. Why should I listen to you? Chen Shang sneered. I'll go find Big Brother Feng now. Boy, you're new here, don't you understand the rules? Lu Yi said gloomily, I warn you, if you don't know each other, I promise you won't be able to eat and drink here, so that you won't be able to live in Anlong City. What do you want? Chen Shang was not in a hurry now, he just wanted to see what Lu Yi was going to do. My adoptive father takes you in. If you want to live for a long time, you have to listen to me. I will tell you to do something. If you do well, you can continue to stay here. If you don't do well, you just wait. Get the ***** out of here. Lu Yi sneered. My adoptive father listens to me in everything, and I have a lot of power. If you offend me, you will have a miserable life. Charming Tianyao couldn't bear it anymore. Although Lu Yi was a great person, his strength in all aspects was indeed stronger than that of the world-defying universe, but in the eyes of charming Tianyao and Guo Lingshe, Lu Yi was just a piece of fish. Are you really not afraid of me telling Big Brother Feng? Chen Shang asked. Don't be afraid, Lu Yi said, it's not that no one told him, but I didn't have anything in the end. Do you know why? Why? Chen Shang couldn't understand why someone like Feng Chen, who was so righteous, could have Lu Yi, his adopted son, making trouble. Because I am the son of his savior. My biological father died to save him, so he accepted me as his adopted son. Lu Yi shook his legs and smiled, although you have only known my adoptive father for 2 days, you should knowing what he is like, what do you think he will do to me? Chen Shang now understands that with Feng Chen's character, he will definitely not treat Lu Yi like that. What's more, Lu Yi himself handled it very smoothly, and every time he could let him perfunctory, so as not to make Feng Chen too embarrassed. And many people will indeed be intimidated by Lu Yi, because after being taken in by Feng Chen, they really want to eat and drink for a while. Most of the people taken in by Feng Chen are powerless, so they are naturally a little afraid of Lu Yi. Chen Shang could see that Lu Yi had some means, so he could make people unable to get along in the city. Okay, I'll listen to you. Chen Shang thought about it and decided to agree first. The person who knows the current affairs is a handsome man. Lu Yi clapped and smiled, young Master Shen, right. Come on, this is a task for you. As long as you do well, I will say something nice to you in front of your foster father. When the time comes, you will pretend to need a different essence pill, borrow some from him, and he will generously give it to you. Lu Yi took out a piece of paper, and what was written on it was to let Chen Shang kill people. Why do you think I can kill others? Do you know my cultivation? Chen Shang asked. The person you want to get rid of is the early stage of the fairyland. And your cultivation base is probably the middle stage of the fairyland, you should be able to do it. Lu Yi said. Chen Shang frowned, because no one had told him about the realm of Daishan, He never thought that the whole Daishin would actually embark on this path of cultivation. Of course, cultivating immortals is just a way of saying that for those who are different from the heavens. It is very different from the path of immortal cultivation that Chen Shang experienced back then. Perhaps, many different worlds have their so-called immortal ways, the names may be the same, but they are very different, and the power and realm are completely different. For example, when Chen Shang was in the world-defying universe, he cultivated the 9 heavens fate or something, and absorbed the power condensed by the creation force, calling it divine power, but it was not as good as the power cultivated by the immortal cultivator of great different heaven. How much can you get for killing this guy? Chen Shang asked. Young Master Lu, I'm just curious. Not much, 100,000 yuan divine pills. Lu Yi smiled and said, this is all business for me, I just want to test you. To be honest, you, a stunned young man like you who just came down the mountain, need it very much. Take this kind of work to exercise yourself, and you should thank me for giving you this opportunity. Many thanks to young Master Lu. Chen Shang said, I will definitely do it well. It will be done within 3 days. After Lu Yi finished speaking, he got up and left. After he was far away, Madian Yao stomped his feet and cursed in a low voice, I really want to screw his head off. He can't see our strength, he's just guessing. Guo Lingshe said, if he can really tell, then he must know that our shu is higher than young Master Shen, but he didn't realize it. Do you really want to help him kill? Madian Yao asked. Of course not. Chen Shang took out the communication talisman and said, let's leave this matter to Big Brother Feng. He wanted to contact Feng Chen, but was stopped by Guo Lingshe. Mr. Shen, don't let Big Brother Feng know. Guo Lingshe said, this Lu Yi must have done a lot of unethical things behind Big Brother Feng's back. As a result, many people who were taken in by Big Brother Feng hated Big Brother Feng in their hearts. Not bad, that's why Brother Feng helped others, but he didn't get the approval of others. Maybe this Lu Yi was doing a trick in secret. Madian Yao nodded and said, Big Brother Feng treats us badly, so let's help him. Guo Lingshe smiled lightly, let's get rid of this Lu Yi. He did a lot of dirty work with the people that Big Brother Feng took in. He must have made a lot of Yiyuan Shenden, and we need the Yiyuan Shenden very much. Madian Yao laughed, if you don't, I will give this Lu Yi. Are you coming? Okay. Chen Shang smiled slightly and said, you guys are quite right. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 4944, Anlong Bang. 3 days have passed, and Chen Shang and the others have not left this small building in the garden for the past 3 days. Chen Shang didn't kill the person Lu Yi wanted to kill, so when the time came, Lu Yi rushed over angrily. On the road, many people could see Lu Yi's cart driving into the garden, but they didn't know what Lu Yi was going to do. Chen Shang wanted to kill Lu Yi, but if he did it today, it would definitely be suspicious. Lu Yi came to look for Chen Shang twice, others must know it, and then Lu Yi died suddenly, and Chen Shang couldn't get rid of it. In the past 3 days, Chen Shang and the charming heavenly demon Guo Lingshe have discussed strategies, which is not difficult for them. After the decision, this matter will be handed over to Madian Yao and Guo Lingshe, and Chen Shang does not need to do anything. Lu Yi is here. Like last time, he came alone and kicked the door straight in. Chen Shang, get out. After Lu Yi came in, he said gloomily. Chen Shang walked down with a smile, then slowly sat on a chair with his legs crossed. Young Master Lu, what are you doing? Chen Shang asked with a smile. Are you kidding me? Lu Yi looked at Chen Shang with murderous eyes. 3 days ago, Chen Shang promised well, but he didn't do anything, and now he was still talking to him with a smile. Lu Yi was getting annoyed. At this time, the door suddenly closed. What are you doing? Lu Yi said solemnly, do you want to attack me? I am from the late stage of the fairyland, and you are not my opponent at all. Shut up you. The Madian Yao suddenly shot and slapped him. Lu Yi didn't expect that the maid next to Chen Shang, covering his face, had such power, and knocked him to the ground with a slap. You. Just as Lu Yi wanted to fight back, he found that charming heavenly demon's eyes were glowing pink. Lu Yi's mind was invaded in an instant. Through her charm technique, charming Tian Yao first confuses Lu Yi, and then controls his soul. The current Lu Yi completely obeys the charming heavenly demon. Lu Yi, how many different essence pills do you have? Chen Shang said with a smile. I have more than 6 million different essence pills. Lu Yi's eyes were dull, and his voice was emotionless when he answered. Bring it out to me. Chen Shang said. Lu Yi took out a storage box and handed it to Chen Shang. I laughed. Chen Shang took a look and laughed. You must know that the charming heavenly demon in Yishan is also considered to be the third level of strength. In a day, the most powerful is the ancestor level, and then it is the emperor. Guo Lingshe and Madian Yao, they were the strongest group of people under Emperor Zun before. Even in this big different world, their strength is not much worse than the group of people under the emperor. In their eyes, Lu Yi is indeed like immortal, and he can easily win it. So there is no need for Chen Shang to take action. What power do you rely on? Guo Lingshe asked. I'm from the Anlong gang. The Anlong gang was founded by the son of the Anlong city lord, and we often have some killing tasks entrusted to us. Lu Yi said, I'm just a little asterisk in the Anlong gang. Under the spell cast by the charming heavenly demon, she can now completely control Lu Yi. She had discussed with Guo Lingshe before, to control Lu Yi out of the city, and then let Guo Lingshe assassinate Lu Yi in the street. After Chen Shang got the divine essence pill, Lu Yi left the manor where the hotel was under the control of the charming heavenly demon. Lu Yi sat in the cart, left the hotel, and came to a street that wasn't particularly crowded. Then Guo Lingshe in black suddenly appeared and smashed the big car, which immediately attracted a lot of people. At this time, the charming demon controlled Lu Yi and shouted, Anlong gang, I just didn't complete the task this time, so you will kill me. Many people have heard this sentence and are very surprised, because they all know that the Anlong gang is very positive in Anlong city, and they would actually do such a thing. Guo Lingshe didn't say anything, and directly dismembered Lu Yi in the street. Charming Tian Yao determined that Lu Yi's soul had completely disappeared, and then took back the power of the soul under his control. Guo Lingshe also immediately disappeared. In this way, Lu Yi was dismembered and died in the street, which also caused quite a stir. Because Anlong City has always been in the name of stability, safety and stability, and now there is such a thing of street dismemberment, and it is still done by Anlong's help, this is a big event. The most surprising thing is that Lu Yi's identity is not simple. He is a member of the Anlong gang, and he is also Feng Chen's adopted son. Feng Chen is also well known in Anlong City, so Lu Yi's death has also made people talk about it. In the past few days, Feng Chen didn't come to find Chen Shang. He also knew that Lu Yi went to find Chen Shang, but he didn't suspect anything. In his opinion, it was Lu Yi who killed himself. Others don't know, but Feng Chen knows very well what the Anlong gang does, and also knows that his adopted son is doing dirty work for Anlong gang, but he didn't expect to be silenced so quickly. After that, the Anlong gang also denied it in various ways, and the Anlong gang was also very puzzled as to who killed Lu Yi. What happened after that doesn't matter to Chen Shang. He was very satisfied with the millions of divine essence pills. Let's help Big Brother Feng deal with that evil son. We have obtained so many different essence pills, this is really the best of both worlds. Chen Shang said with a smile, Ling Shui, Sister Mei, I really have you. Brother Shen, then we should be able to leave Anlong City, right? Madian Yao smiled and said, let's go to the fairy battle conference. Okay, let's go to Big Brother Feng to say goodbye, and then set off. Chen Shang has the Yiyuan divine pill in his hand, so it is much more convenient to do things. Chen Shang used the messenger to contact Feng Chen, but he didn't say that he was leaving. Feng Chen rushed over by himself. Brother, why are you leaving? Is it that kid Lu Yi who made things difficult for you before? Feng Chen hurriedly said, that kid is already dead, and I won't bother you again in the future. No, Chen Shang said, I want to walk around. Feng Chen sighed. If that's the case, then I won't leave you, brother. This is 100,000 different essence pills, and my brother holds it. Big Brother Feng, no need. Chen Shang quickly refused. You're welcome, it's nothing to me, Feng Chen said with a smile. I just hope my brother can remember our friendship in the future. If you have time, come to me for a drink. Chen Shang did not shirk the blame, and accepted Feng Chen's divine essence pill. At this time, the housekeeper hurried over and said with a look of fear, Boss, the people from the Anlong gang are here. What are they doing here? Speaking of the Anlong gang, Feng Chen was very angry. I don't know, the housekeeper trembled and said, the people they sent are all vicious, like they came to eat people. Chen Shang gave Guo Lingshe and Madian Yao a wink, hoping that they would wait and see the situation and take action. Soon, more than a dozen big men came in the hall of this small building. From their eyes, they really looked like they were coming to eat people, fierce and vicious. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4945, made shot. When Feng Chen saw this group of people, he seemed very panicked. Chen Shang and the others can also see that An Long Gang is much stronger than Feng Chen. In Feng Chen's eyes, Chen Shang and the others are very weak. And if Feng Chen himself faced such a group of people, let alone protecting Chen Shang, it would be difficult to protect himself. Everyone, what's the matter? Feng Chen asked. After the death of your adopted son, it brought a lot of negative influence to our An Long Gang, and we are here to eliminate the influence. A big man in the lead said. Feng Chen, you have been in An Long City for so many years, you must have the rules here. I don't know. Feng Chen trembled, and then said in a very strong tone. The death of your adopted son Lu Yi has nothing to do with our An Long Gang. After our investigation, it was you who sent someone to kill your adopted son Lu Yi. The reason you killed him was because you had ordered Lu Yi to assassinate him over the years. Mission, the big man from the An Long Gang said solemnly. You. Feng Chen was furious, he didn't expect the An Long Gang to be so dark. You recruited killers under the guise of making friends. Many of your so-called friends were ordered to kill by Lu Yi. The big man added. Now those people have been taken down by us, and they all admit that they are you. Send Lu Yi to arrange tasks for them. An Long Gang's hand is really impeccable. Chen Shang, Madian Yao, and Guo Lingshe heard some admiration. They did this for all kinds of silence. They couldn't let people know about the dirty work that An Long Gang did secretly, or else they couldn't explain it. You spray people with blood. Feng Chen trembled with anger. You admit it, the big man said coldly, like an emotionless beast, staring at Feng Chen coldly, giving people a strong sense of oppression. Feng Chen looked at Chen Shang and the others, then closed his eyes and said, I have a condition. They are innocent, if I let them go, I will admit that I did it all. The big man looked at Chen Shang and shook his head. You are here tonight to instruct them to carry out an assassination mission. But they don't agree, so you will kill them. The housekeeper is a witness. The big man looked at the housekeeper. The housekeeper shivered and nodded again and again. Yes, this is all done by Boss Feng. The An Long Gang wanted to kill Chen Shang and the others, and put all the blame on Feng Chen. They forced Feng Chen to admit all the crimes, which were witnessed by Chen Shang and the others, so they had to be silenced. Feng Chen suddenly knelt down and shouted, they are innocent. As long as you let them go, I can do anything. I still have a lot of possessions hidden, and I can give them all to you. This matter is what the young master explained. If it was normal, I might be able to turn a blind eye, but now I can't make a mistake. So I have to make sure to keep my mouth shut. The big man sighed. Feng Chen, you should also know that our young master has done a lot of things behind the back of the city owner. The city owner now wants the young master to be clean, so you have to make sacrifices. While speaking, the big man looked at Chen Shang, and then controlled the sword in his hand to fly out. The black flying sword, like a ghostly black light, stabbed at Chen Shang very quickly. Even Feng Chen was instantly shocked by the unsheathed flying sword, and his heart was extremely frightened. It can be seen that this big man's cultivation is extremely high and his strength is extremely strong, and it can also be seen that the An Long Gang's determination to wipe his ass. Just when everyone thought that Chen Shang would definitely die, Guo Lingshui's slender hand came out lightly. The jade-like hand emits a holy white light, as if grabbing a branch, just grabbed the flying sword. This scene made Feng Chen and others stunned. According to the information of the big man in the An Long Gang, the last person Lu Yi came to was Chen Shang, and Chen Shang was a friend Feng Chen had just made. He came out of the mountains with 2 maidservants and cultivated himself, very low. However, as soon as Guo Lingshe made a move, he had already shown his powerful strength. Being able to catch the flying sword with her bare hands means that her cultivation is far above that big guy. Only Feng Chen knew that Chen Shang was an alchemist. He used to think that Chen Shang, an alchemist, didn't have bodyguards by his side, but now he knows that he has misunderstood. The 2 maids around Chen Shang are definitely first-class masters. This young master must have some background. I have offended a lot just now, please forgive me. After the big man reacted, he also knew that Chen Shang had an extraordinary origin. Because from the beginning to the end, Chen Shang and the 2 maids around him were very calm. Even someone like Feng Chen who has experienced strong winds and waves is not as calm as the 3 of them. This shows that Chen Shang and the 3 of them have nothing to fear. It is precisely because of its strength that it is possible to be fearless. I will tell you everything you and Long Gang did. Chen Shang said. Young Master Shen, we have no complaints, Just now we were all so ignorant of others, please forgive me. The big man began to panic. We must have a good solution for today's matter. The big man also knows to kick the iron plate, and today we still don't know who killed and who silenced it. If you all go back alive, then the young master behind you will send stronger people to continue cleaning after knowing it. Chen Shang said, right. He will definitely not accept it. The big man didn't answer. Big brother Feng is my friend. Since you are so rude to him, then I will not show mercy. After Chen Shang finished speaking, he said to Guo Lingshe and Meidian Yao, destroy them. Charming heavenly demon's eyes suddenly flashed with pink light, and the souls of more than a dozen Anlong gang were attacked at once, and there was no way to fight back. When they reacted, Guo Lingshe held the big man's flying sword and chopped off their heads one by one. This was almost done in an instant. In the blink of an eye, they were all dead. Feng Chen was too shocked to speak. And the housekeeper was about to run away, and he was so frightened that he started screaming. He didn't kill him, he just beat the housekeeper into a state of confusion. After Feng Chen came back, he looked at the corpses all over the place, sighed, and said, Brother Shen, I really thank you for your help just now, I can't thank you enough. Big brother Feng, the Anlong gang won't let you go. They will come again, Chen Shang said. In fact, the reason why the Anlong gang came is because Chen Shang and the others killed Lu Yi. I know, Feng Chen said. After all, these 10 are all masters of the Anlong gang, how could that young city master swallow this breath? Brother Feng, there are 2 ways. We will destroy the Anlong gang, the young city lord and the city lord. In this way, you can continue to stay in Anlong city. Chen Shang said. The second way is to leave Anlong city, start all over again. Feng Chen didn't know how strong the 2 maids around Chen Shang were, but he thought it would be very dangerous to destroy the power of the city lord. He naturally didn't want Chen Shang and the others to take risks, so he could only choose the second way. I choose to leave Anlong city. Feng Chen said. I'm going to pack up now. Brother Shen, wait for me here. Aren't you going to the fairy battle conference? I'll take you there. Do you like this site? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4946, Longzhou City. Feng Chen knew that Chen Zhang's strength was definitely not as simple as the surface, so he felt that even if Chen Shang did not perform well in the Immortal Battle Conference, he would definitely not die there. Big brother Feng, hurry up and get back. Chen Shang nodded. Feng Chen left immediately. He has accumulated a lot of wealth in Anlong City for so many years, and he has also placed it in many places. He didn't put some things in the storage magic treasure, and was also worried that the storage magic treasure would be taken away. Not long after Feng Chen left, Meidian Yao said, Brother Shen, a group of people are flying over. It seems that the Anlong gang knows that the people they sent are finished. After realizing it, Feng Chen didn't go to get anything else and ran back immediately. No, there are a lot of people here. Feng Chen said, let's go now. Just as he finished speaking, hundreds of people flew over from the air and landed on the ground. The more than 10 Anlong gang men who had been killed before all had communication talismans on their bodies. Before they died, the fluctuations emanating from them were in this position and were always detected by the Anlong gang, so after they died, the Anlong gang would know right away, and rush over. Leave it to us. After Meidian Yao finished speaking, he rushed out by himself. Guo Lingshe also followed out. Their seniors and sisters joined forces to kill the hundreds of Anlong gang members. It was as simple as playing a house. What did Feng Chen see? The strength of Guo Lingshe and Meidian Yao was unfathomable in his opinion, even stronger than many disciples of the Immortal cultivation sect. Hundreds of Anlong gang were killed in one fell swoop. Then came another batch. This time, the young city lord finally came out in person. He was arrogant and landed from the air. Bold Feng Chen, I didn't expect you to recruit troops and horses secretly for many years. It seems that you want to usurp the entire Anlong city. The young city owner really thought so he shouted loudly as soon as he appeared. His voice also spread far away, and many people knew it. There was a battle on Feng Chen's territory, and a lot of people died. This incident quickly spread around the city. No one would have imagined that the usual good guy would be so terrifying. He dared to kill hundreds of Anlong gang, and even alarmed the young city lord. Chen Shang released the divine mirror of 6 paths. He knew that he could not continue. Otherwise, the city lord would also be dispatched, and he might fight in this city. Chen Shang didn't want to make such a big noise. He took Feng Chen to jump onto the 6 paths divine mirror. However, Mei Dianyao and Guo Lingshe didn't stop. In their eyes, the young city lord was not a good thing, so the two flew over directly, killed the young city lord, and jumped onto the six-path mirror. Feng Chen was so frightened that he thought that Chen Shang was just talking about killing the young city lord, but he didn't expect to kill him. And kill so easily and casually. The 6 divine mirrors are turned on and quickly fly away from Anlong City. The young city master died, and most of the Anlong gang was slaughtered. This incident caused a sensation in the whole city, and even other cities learned about it. After all, Anlong City is a large-scale city. Although it is not the most powerful and prosperous city, it is quite famous. The son of the city lord was killed, which has not happened in many years. The most shocking thing is that the son of the city lord was destroyed in the city. In a place like Tianlong Zuxing, the city owner of a city is the most powerful person in the city. It took many years for the city owner to establish it through various means. Moreover, the city lord and some immortal sects have very close interests, and they can be regarded as a character, so the killing of the city lord's son in the city is also a big thing. The backers behind some city lords are very likely to be some immortal sects, so this will also make some immortal sects think that someone is targeting them. All kinds of speculations are spreading like crazy. Also said that the battle is very fierce, playing in the dark. However, no one thought that it was actually caused by Chen Shang for self-protection. The battle was not too intense, Mei Dianyao and Guo Lingshe shot too fast, and they killed them very cleanly. Everyone in the Anlong gang was silenced, so no one saw it. On the divine mirror of 6 paths, Feng Chen has become very restrained now, because he knows that Chen Shang has an extraordinary background and the maid around him is so powerful, so it is not like before. Big brother Feng, don't worry. Go to another place and start all over again, nothing will happen. Chen Shang said with a smile. Brother Shen, why do I feel that you have more experience than me in this kind of thing? Feng Chen said with a wry smile. No matter what, I am now wanted, and many friends have sent me messages to ask about my location, and they all want to take me to exchange for the bounty. It shouldn't be a problem for you to change your appearance, right? Chen Shang said. After a while, everyone will forget about it. That's good. Feng Chen nodded and said. Big brother Feng, Dragon Ancestral City is right there. At this speed, how long will it take to fly? Chen Shang asked. It will probably take a few more days to fly. This speed is very fast, but Tianlong Zuxing is too big. Feng Chen said. As soon as he finished speaking, the 6 paths divine mirror began to jump in space. After jumping several times in the sky, you could see a city with dense buildings below. They looked down at a high altitude, and it was only a small area, but when they landed, they found that it was very dense and there were so many people. That is Dragon Ancestor City. Feng Chen was shocked to see a flying magic weapon capable of space jumping. In his opinion, this kind of thing is very expensive. Even the powerhouses in the Shushan sector impossible. Also, controlling this kind of thing requires a lot of power, and Chen Zhang's cultivation base doesn't seem to be high. How can he control it? He looked timidly at Mei Dianyao and Guo Lingshe, the 2 delicate maids in his eyes were so terrifying. However, he thought that Master Chen Shang was an alchemist, and it is not surprising that there are such strong people around him, because many strong people are bound to alchemists, relying on alchemists to provide medicine pills to become stronger, and they will do many things for alchemists. The fact is similar, Mei Dianyao and Guo Lingshe are willing to follow him and do things for him because Chen Shang is very strong in alchemy. Otherwise, no matter how handsome Chen Shang is, it is impossible for these 2 strange women to follow him. The relationship between them, in addition to helping each other, is also deeply bound by interests. The main reason is that Mei Dianyao and Guo Lingshe have to rely on Chen Shang to become stronger. This should be the ancestral dragon city. Chen Shang said, are there any disciples from the immortal cultivation sect here? Young Master Shen, aren't you the disciples of the immortal cultivation sect? Feng Chen asked, you guys look similar to those disciples. No, Chen Shang said with a smile. Brother Feng, to be honest, we want to enter Yathionmen. Because my master has some connections with Yathionmen, so I want to find disciples of Yathionmen. I wonder if Brother Feng can help. I will try my best. Feng Chen said. Longzhou City is going to hold the Immortal Battle Conference, and disciples from various sects will arrive one after another. I will try my best to inquire about the whereabouts of the disciples of Yathionmen. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4947, City AA Turmoil. The divine mirror of 6 paths landed outside the dragon ancestral city, and Chen Shang did not fly in directly, because the sky above the dragon ancestral city did not allow idle people to fly. If you fly indirectly, you will be caught by the disciples of the Yishan Longmen who are patrolling in the air. Entering the city is also very easy, as long as you pay an entry fee, each person can enter and leave freely within 3 months. Feng Chen also often came to Longzhou City, so he was familiar with it, but he didn't dare to run around because he was wanted now. He also has many acquaintances in Longzhou City, all of whom have a good relationship with him and know him well. Nowadays, everyone knows that Feng Chen has been offered a high price, so Feng Chen must first avoid contact with acquaintances. Feng Chen can't trust anyone now. He was betrayed by his friends not once or twice. Although he is usually very polite and forthright to these friends, now he is also the most vigilant to his friends. In order not to trouble Chen Shang, Feng Chen just took Chen Shang to a hotel, let Chen Shang and the others check in, and then he left by himself. Feng Chen said that he had a place to go, so Chen Shang didn't have to worry about it. Also, Feng Chen is going to help Chen Shang find the disciples of Yathianmen. Anyway, he has nothing else to do right now, so he will help Chen Shang to do this. Chen Shang brought Mei Tianyao and Guo Lingshe, dressed up as a young master, and booked a large suite on a higher floor. The area where he is now is not the most prosperous area in Dragon Ancestor City. But it is still very lively here, and there are many people on the streets. Chen Shang stood on the terrace and looked at the night scenery in the city. Everything seemed peaceful now, but it was only peaceful on this star. Da Yishan and Aoshi universe are surging, and no one knows what kind of turmoil will happen next. We killed Brother Feng. If we didn't handle it well, he wouldn't have been displaced. Guo Lingshe felt somewhat guilty. Our main reason is that we didn't expect the actions behind the Anlong gang, otherwise according to our plan, everything would be perfect. Mei Tianyao also felt a little guilty. This is normal, some things are like this, and they won't be exactly as you imagined. Chen Shang smiled and said, "Don't worry, Big Brother Feng is doing pretty well now. His current situation is not good." Guo Lingshe also looked into the distance and said, "Because of our actions, he lost everything in Anlong City. At least he has come out. He has been in Anlong City for hundreds of years, right? Now his fixed life for many years has been broken, which is somewhat helpful to his cultivation." Chen Shang said, "Because he can't break through, so he do your business with all your heart and then use your spare time to make friends. Can you help him?" Guo Lingshe said, "I don't think it's difficult for you to help him break through the bottleneck. It's really not difficult, but it depends on whether he has that chance." Chen Shang said with a smile. "How can it be considered a chance?" Guo Lingshe admired Chen Shang. At least she couldn't help others to break through the bottleneck, but Chen Shang could. This ability to change the fate of others was very scary to her. "The time has come, so will his chance," Chen Shang said. "Brother Shen, do you think that senior sister and I should participate in the Immortal Battle Conference?" Mei Tianyao said, "Senior sister and I are not weak, and we will definitely perform well." Chen Shang looked at Guo Lingshe and asked, "Lingshe, how did you think about it? Do you want to participate?" "No." Guo Lingshe shook his head and said, "Junior sister, you and I have both practiced Yaoshan divine art. If there is a battle when we participate in the Immortal Battle Conference, the Yaoshan divine art will be exposed at that time." "That's right, this is the site of the great dragon ancestor. And there will definitely be many strong people staring at the Immortal Battle Conference." Chen Shang nodded and said, "Participating in the Immortal Battle Conference will easily expose you all. Brother Shen, if you participate alone, I'm a little worried about you," said Mei Tianyao. "There's nothing to worry about," Chen Shang said with a smile. "It feels like you haven't made a breakthrough for a long time. Logically speaking, your cultivation base is inherently low, and you should be able to improve your realm very quickly." Mei Tianyao said, "You can quickly cultivate a few fates. It's an easy thing to say." "It's not easy," Chen Shang said with a wry smile. "My way of cultivation is rather special, which caused me to stagnate." "Okay." Mei Tianyao didn't say anything. She also knew that Chen Shang had been busy with other things during this time, and it was normal that he didn't have time to practice. "By the way, if you have time, continue to help me make divine power beads," Chen Shang said with a smile. "I need your divine power." Chen Shang has not yet fully cultivated the divine arts, and he still needs a lot of divine power. Now that Guo Lingshe and Mei Tianyao are by their side, they can continue to use their divine powers. Guo Lingshe and Madian Yao went back to their room. While they were cultivating, they condensed divine power pearls for Chen Shang. Chen Shang sat on the couch on the terrace, eating fruit and various sweet juices, watching the big moon in the sky. He just said that his cultivation was stagnant, but he has actually improved a lot. Because the Heavenly Jade Star territory has a world-defining mother source, Chen Zhang's Heavenly Jade Fate has also improved a lot, which has led to his improvement in all aspects, especially the improvement of his soul. What's more, his Tianquan Fate Center is equivalent to having a very small mother source. That is to say, in the depths of his soul, there is a mother source that is constantly releasing the power of creation. Chen Shangguang is using these world creation powers to cultivate his soul and body. Even if he does not deliberately cultivate, he will strengthen in every aspect. In the middle of the night, Feng Chen suddenly sent a message. Young Master Shen, I just learned a piece of news. The people from the Tiandan Temple are arresting people in the city. Feng Chen's voice was very anxious, and said, the city lord's men and the disciples of the Yishan Dragon Gate are all cooperating with the Tiandan Temple. Go get someone. It didn't catch me, Chen Shang said. I'm watching the stars on the terrace of the hotel room. Really? I thought young Master Shen had exposed something. Feng Chen was relieved. Then I'll go and find out, who are they catching? Big brother Feng, be careful, Chen Shang urged. It didn't take long for Feng Chen to hear news again. I have to say that his news is very well informed. It can be seen that he has been a wealthy boy for so many years, and it is still useful. Young Master Shen, the person they were catching stole the pills from an old alchemist in the Tiandan Temple. Feng Chen was completely relieved now, and said with a smile, it's better if you didn't catch young Master Shen, but it scared me before. Big brother Feng, do you know where the guys from the Tiandan Temple are? Chen Shang asked. Ah, young Master Shen, what do you know about this? Feng Chen was suddenly worried. No, I just want to know where they are, so I can avoid them. Chen Shang said with a smile. Why, big brother Feng, do you think I'm going to find them? Of course not, I'll tell you their locations. Feng Chen immediately told Chen Shang the locations of those people. After Chen Shang learned about it, he decided to set off immediately to find the people from the Tiandan Temple. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4948, Relay Alchemy. Chen Zhang's room was on a very high floor. He stood on the balcony of the room and could just see the Tiandan building in the distance. The shape of Tiandan Tower is rather peculiar. There is a small golden cauldron on the top of the building that emits strong light, which is very dazzling especially at night. After Chen Shang became invisible, he flew out from the terrace and flew towards the hundreds of story building. He didn't tell Madian Yao and Guo Lingshe because he thought he could handle it alone. When Chen Shang was flying in the air, he encountered some patrols, all of them were disciples of Yishan Dragon sect. They were indeed very strong, but none of them found Chen Shang. Not long after, Chen Shang came to the vicinity of Tiandan building, and then slowly landed on one of the windows on the first floor. He opened his mind and looked straight in, but there was no one inside. Brother, are you here to inquire about the situation in the Tiandan Palace? Sister Xiaojing asked. After Chen Shang entered that floor, he took out the divine mirror of 6 paths. The alchemist of the Tiandan Temple has a very high status in this great heaven. If you want to know something about Yathianmen, you can definitely ask these alchemists to ask something. Chen Shang said, and then controlled the 6 paths divine mirror to scan the building to see which floor was occupied. Yes, I don't know which mountain the Tiandan Temple is backed by. Is it the demon ancestor? Sister Xiaojing quickly displayed the scan results on the mirror. Chen Shang looked at the mirror and knew which floor was someone. There are hundreds of floors in this building, but there are actually only more than 100 people, and some floors are still empty. In his opinion, among the more than 100 people, there must be few alchemists. After all, alchemists are very rare. Is there too few people in this building? Sister Xiaojing said, I don't know how many alchemists there are. Sister Jing, let's go to the people's floor to investigate. If there is a pill furnace or something, we can determine how many pill alchemists there are. Chen Shang said. Brother, this building has a basement. And there are people there too. Sister Xiaojing said, should we explore the basement first? Are these guys hiding in such a dark place underground to concoct pills? Chen Shang heard what Sister Xiaojing said, and thought it might be on the underground floor. Didn't they have an old alchemist stolen before? It should be normal to hide in the basement now, right? Sister Xiaojing giggled. If we find them, maybe we can scare them. Chen Shang quickly sneaked into a secret room in the basement, and there really was an alchemist who was refining alchemy. That alchemist is an old man, with a very good temperament, with an immortal appearance, wearing a spotless white robe, white hair and white beard are also very straight and smooth. He closed his eyes, and was concentrating on alchemy. Chen Shang was able to directly see through the opponent's pill furnace, and found that the old man had a very high level of pill refining. The situation inside the pill furnace facing the old man is extremely complicated at this moment, and requires very fine control. Whether it is the flame or the medicinal materials, if the control is a little careless, the furnace will explode. Chen Shang didn't disturb others, but watched invisibly next to him. He also wanted to see the level of Daishan's alchemy masters. In this way, Chen Shang watched for a few hours, during which he secretly asked for a communication talisman to contact Meidian Yao and Guoling She, telling them that he had gone out for a while, and told them to wait for him in the hotel. At the beginning, the old man did show a very high level, but after a few hours, he began to be a little messy. Chen Shang saw the situation inside the pill furnace, and it began to appear messy. The flame should have weakened, and the temperature of the pill furnace should have been suppressed, but it didn't. What's more, at this time, the powerful spiritual power should be released through the soul to suppress the medicinal energy inside the pill furnace, and prevent the medicinal powder that turns into energy from running around. But the old man didn't do that. He didn't say that he enhanced the flame, and also controlled the medicine energy to rotate inside the pill furnace. He's going to blow up the furnace. Chen Shang secretly said in his heart. Sure enough, the pill stove began to shake. The old man opened his eyes, stared at the pill stove sharply and solemnly, and shot 2 golden lights on the shaking pill stove. Are you going to fail again this time? The old man muttered to himself, looking very unwilling, and said, if I fail again, I will be out. I can't cross this hurdle, and many alchemists have fallen at this level. That's it. After speaking, he is like a deflated ball, gradually weakening his strength. Chen Shang was very puzzled, because in his opinion, this old man was very good at the beginning. How could he start messing around later, otherwise he would not fail. Boom! The pill furnace cracked and exploded, and the old man sat there motionless, not planning to dodge. Seems willing to let the friar hurt himself as a punishment. Chen Shang immediately shot, and as soon as he raised his hand, he released a translucent magic furnace made of energy condensed. Although the pill furnace exploded, the internal medicine energy did not dissipate immediately, and it was still in this secret room. After Chen Zhang's magic furnace was released, his powerful divine consciousness turned into a net, covering all the medicinal energy in the stone chamber, and then incorporated it into the magic furnace. Someone suddenly appeared. The old man was very panicked at first, just wanted to call someone, but found the magic furnace emitting a faint light. Then he saw a handsome young man who controlled the magic furnace with one hand and injected flames into it. The old man was stunned, because he also discovered that the medicinal energy that was going to be dissipated just now was caught all at once, and all of it was poured into the magic furnace where the energy was condensed. Don't give up. Chen Shang smiled and said, I think you're about to do it, but something went wrong later. The old man was so shocked that he was speechless. On the one hand, he was shocked that someone was watching him refining pills, and he could see clearly. This person's alchemy has far exceeded his knowledge, reaching a state he has never heard of. That kind of medicine energy is so terrifying that even the pill furnace can't be suppressed, and it needs a specific pill furnace to cooperate with the formation to suppress it, and the person in front of him can be suppressed by using the pill furnace condensed by his own energy. Senior. The old man trembled. I don't know which senior it is, please give me more pointers. We'll talk about it later. Chen Shang was actually curious, because he also knew that the pill the old man was refining was very powerful, and the terrifying energy was extremely fierce. So he couldn't help but try, and wanted to try it himself. Can he practice it? At this moment, the internal operation of the magic furnace is clear at a glance. The old man opened his eyes and saw it clearly. He kept it in his heart, and he also knew where he was wrong just now. In his heart, the old man admired Chen Shang so much that an alchemist of this level was a legendary figure in his opinion. Not long after, a dark red pill condensed, emitting a strong evil spirit. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4949, Guixian Shendan. Because the inside of the pill furnace is airtight and under strong pressure, this pill has not been released. Only when the lid of the furnace is opened, and the pill is no longer wrapped by strong pressure, can it be considered to be out of the oven, and that is the real form of the pill. However, even now, it can be seen that the quality of this pill is extremely high. The old man was trembling all over at the moment, only he knew how high the quality of this pill was. Because according to his understanding of this kind of pill, the best state is only dark gray, and if it is the worst quality, then it is black. It can be made into dark red, but the old man has never heard of it. But what is certain is that the quality of this pill is far above dark gray. Black is the worst quality. If it can be separated from black, it is a good quality. I'm about to start the furnace, Chen Shang whispered. The old man nodded, very excited and looking forward to it. Chen Shang directly put away the magic furnace. At the moment of withdrawing from the magic weapon furnace, after the pressure around the pill was gone, Dan Wan suddenly trembled. Originally dark red, it turned into gold in an instant, and it also shone with golden luster. What shocked the old man the most was that there was a trace of soul power flowing on the surface of this pill. That's Dan's soul. Only when the legendary alchemist is concocting alchemy can he concoct the alchemy soul. But the legends he heard were only refining the kind of pills that were easy to refine before they could be injected into pill souls. As for the pill in front of me, it is very difficult to refine. It was also failed to refine by this old man. It was Chen Zhang's relay. The old man watched with wide eyes, so excited and shocked that he was speechless. This young man did not use the pill furnace, but he took over his furnace and went to refine it. He could refine the pill soul. He could hardly imagine this. What level of alchemist? Chen Shang has indeed refined the pill soul. In the past, he needed the cooperation of the world-defying divine furnace to refine it. It's just because his current pill technique has improved a lot. Even if he doesn't use the world-defying divine furnace, he can still make pill souls, but the pill souls are weaker. If you use the world-defying divine furnace to refine, you can refine a stronger pill soul. What kind of pill is this? Chen Shang waved his hand, controlled the pill to float over, put it in his hand, and asked. The old man was dumbfounded. He didn't even know what kind of pill it was, but he could refine it. And is this really an alchemist? Because in this extraordinary world, an alchemist who does not know this kind of pill is not qualified to become an alchemist. Ah, senior, this is the immortal guiding pill. The old man was surprised and quickly replied, eat this pill, you can step into the immortal guild. If you eat it in Gui Immortal, you can also improve your cultivation. This it's an immortal Taoist pill, very precious and difficult to refine. So it is. Chen Shang controlled the pill to float in front of the old man, and said, return to the original owner. The old man hurriedly took it with trembling hands, and then quickly thanked him. In Shayi Xingyuan, he is an alchemist from the Tiandan Temple. He is currently stationed at this Tianlong ancestral star. He is the one who speaks here. Yi Xingyuan quickly introduced himself. Are you from the Tiandan Temple? People are being arrested outside, saying that someone stole the pills from your Tiandan Temple. Chen Shang asked. That's right, they stole an immortal guiding pill. That pill was given to the Immortal Battle Conference by the Tiandan Temple to cheer for the Immortal Battle Conference. Yi Xingyuan sighed, but it was stolen by the thieves. This is my dereliction of duty. Is this pill difficult to refine? Chen Shang felt that he could refine it easily. Yi Xingyuan was at a loss for words. It was not only difficult for him to practice, but it was a bottleneck that he could not overcome. To be honest, I've been studying this pill refining method for thousands of years, but I can't get it out. Yi Xingyuan said, even if I watched Senior's pill refining process just now, I didn't gain anything. Actually it's not difficult. Chen Shang smiled and said, I can give you some pointers. Yi Xingyuan was very shocked. He naturally knew that this person was definitely not from the Tiandan Temple, otherwise he would not have not known Guixian Shendan. Chen Shang also saw that Yi Xingyuan was the kind of upright person, so he was willing to point him. Then there is, the person in charge of Yi Xingyuan Tiandan Temple here, which means that his status is extremely high, and it will be more convenient to learn about Yathianmen through him. You can start all over. Chen Shang said, I'll teach you from the side. Many thanks, Senior. It's just such a big favor, it's really hard to repay it. Senior's kindness, I'll take it from my heart. Yi Xingyuan declined, because he really felt that he was not qualified to bear this kindness. When I meet you, it's fate. Chen Shang said with a smile, maybe, this is your chance. Chance is such a phantom, if you miss it, you won't have it anymore. But Senior, I can't bear this kindness. Yi Xingyuan shook his head. Don't you want to know why I am here? Chen Shang said. Why? Yi Xingyuan asked. Because I am an alchemist, and I am very interested in the alchemists here. I learned that there is an alchemist here in the Tiandan Temple, so I came here to find you. Chen Shang said. Could it be that the seniors are not from our Yishan? Yi Xingyuan immediately thought of something. After all, he is from the Temple of Heaven Core, and he is very clear about the collision between the two Yishans. Chen Shang nodded. Is it another Yishan? Yi Xingyuan asked again. No, in addition to the two alien universes, there are other alien universes. I am from those alien universes. Chen Shang said. The universe I am in was affected by the collision of the two alien universes, and a big one appeared, the rift, and then I'll come out for a walk. It turns out that the predecessors came from such a far place. I can't imagine how big the sky is, let alone from a distant universe. However, we still meet, this is indeed a rare fate. Yi Xingyuan thought about it carefully, indeed I also think it's a wonderful coincidence. Fellow Taoist Yi, I came to Yishan for some things. So I also need to help people who are familiar with Yishan. Chen Shang said with a smile. Friend Yi, I think you are very reliable and trustworthy. I will do my best to help Senior. Yi Xingyuan quickly cupped his hands. Afterwards, Chen Shang began to instruct Yi Xingyuan to refine the Immortal returning divine pill. It can be said that he pointed from beginning to end, corrected Yi Xingyuan's many mistakes, and specially formulated a set of alchemy techniques suitable for him according to his own situation. At this moment, Yi Xingyuan only felt as if he was reborn from nirvana, and had a deeper understanding of the way of alchemy, and he was even more shocked by Chen Zhang's alchemy technique. What realm did he reach? Just pointing him at random can make him have such a huge improvement. During Chen Zhang's stay, he also learned about Dai Yishan's alchemy technique, which shocked him. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 4950, Yaoshan Julian. Chen Shang had learned from Feng Chen before that there was a heavenly pill temple in Daishan, and all kinds of alchemy techniques, pill recipes, medicinal herbs planting and methods, etc., were all controlled by the heavenly pill temple. At that time, Chen Shang thought that the Tiandan temple itself possessed a very high level of alchemy techniques, so it was restricted in order to not allow it to be spread out. However, he learned from Yi Xingyuan that although there are many alchemy techniques in Tiandan temple, if you want to learn those alchemy techniques, you need to reach a certain level. For example, what level of alchemy they need to refine before they can learn more advanced alchemy techniques. But in Chen Zhang's opinion, if you learn those so-called high-level alchemy techniques in advance, you can more easily brew the more difficult alchemy. For example, the Guixian divine pill that Yi Xingyuan is refining now, if he had mastered a more advanced alchemy technique, he would have been refining it long ago. Therefore, Chen Shang believes that the Tiandan temple deliberately restricts alchemists from accessing higher-level alchemy techniques, in order to maintain the Tiandan temple's rule over the entire Great Yishan. Yi Xingyuan, an old alchemist, relied on the low-level alchemy techniques in his hands and was misguided, so he did not make much progress after studying for thousands of years. Chen Shang looked at Yi Xingyuan's alchemy, and after listening to him talk about the alchemy technique of the Tiandan temple, he knew that he was deliberately led astray, and the deviation from the correct direction was very serious. Now, under the careful guidance of Chen Shang, Yi Xingyuan has made great progress, which shows that his foundation is very solid, and many things can be understood by him with a little explanation. I am often arranged by the Tiandan temple to listen to some elders' lectures. Now I feel that there are many mistakes in the elders' lectures. Yi Xingyuan also noticed something. They did it on purpose. Chen Shang said. Because you didn't enter the inner circle of the Tiandan temple, so they not only didn't teach you the real thing, they also deliberately led you in the wrong direction. Yi Xingyuan was at a loss for words. He had lived for so many years, and after a little thought, he could understand that there was something in Chen Zhang's words. In other words, Yi Xingyuan was deliberately suppressed, and they were not allowed to make any progress in the outer layers of the Tiandan temple. Old Yi, if it wasn't for their alchemy techniques that were biased towards you, maybe relying on your own understanding, the level of alchemy would not be as high as it is now. Chen Shang said. The practice of the Tiandan temple is really despicable. After thinking about it, Yi Xingyuan cursed in a low voice. This is also the reason why they lead to the death of the Dan Dao. The heavenly pill temple controls the pill Dao, and only a small number of people are allowed to practice the pill Dao. And it also provides the wrong pill technique. Over time, Yishan's alchemy technique will decline because of this. Chen Shang said. If anyone can, if you practice the way of alchemy, then the way of alchemy will blossom, and all kinds of alchemy techniques will be spread out, and everyone will learn from each other, and there will be great progress. Senior, is it like this in your universe? Yi Xingyuan said with a look of longing. It should be like this. Chen Shang said. I started learning alchemy when I was a teenager. Yi Xingyuan was extremely envious, sighed, and continued to concoct alchemy. Under the guidance of Chen Shang, he quickly refined a pill of returning to the immortal. Compared with the one that Chen Shang refined before, it is much worse. It can be said that there is no comparison at all. But Yi Xingyuan was very content, because he finally made the immortal guiding pill. And the quality is better than that of Tiandan Temple. Old Yi, with this Guixian Shendan, you don't have to worry about the Tiandan Temple being blamed. Chen Shang said, but you should be careful, don't let them know that you can refine the Guixian Shendan. Actually, Chen Shang suspected that the immortal guiding pill given by the Heaven Pill Temple was stolen by the inner ghost, and then let Yi Xingyuan take the blame. Thank you, Senior, for reminding me. Yi Xingyuan nodded again and then asked, Senior said before that you need my help. I don't know what I can help. Do you know Yathionman? Chen Shang asked in a low voice. I'm looking for Yathionman disciples. I hope to get in touch with Yathionman elders. Of course I know Yathionman. Although Yathionman has a bad relationship with demon ancestors, it is also closely related to Tiandan Temple. As far as I know, one of the precious medicinal materials for refining Guixian Shendan is named Yaoshan. Julian comes from Yathionman. Yi Xingyuan said, I also bought it privately from a disciple of Yathionman. Oh, Yi Lao, you belong to the Tiandan Temple, can't you get the medicinal materials from the Tiandan Temple? Chen Shang asked. Of course, but I couldn't make the immortal guiding pill, so the Tiandan Temple does not allow me to buy it inside. Yi Xingyuan said, if they knew that I was quietly groping and refining the Guixian pill, it would be regarded as stealing. Learning alchemy will be severely punished. As the Tiandan Temple restricting its own people so strictly? Chen Shang was a little surprised. Yeah, if you want to learn the upper-level alchemy skills, you have to pay a great price. If you go to those elders and sit down and sign a master-disciple contract with the elders, you will lose your freedom. Yi Xingyuan sighed. Lao Yi, can you help me introduce the disciples of Yathionman? Chen Shang asked. Yes, however, they are very vigilant every time they trade. Because the private trading of medicinal pills is prohibited by the Temple of Heavenly Pills. Yi Xingyuan said. The Temple of Heavenly Pills stipulates that all business of medicinal pills must be handled by the Temple of Heavenly Pills. Be responsible. For example, in this city, you have to get this Tiandan building to trade. In this way, wouldn't the Tiandan Temple be able to earn a lot of benefits? Chen Shang frowned and said, who is behind this Tiandan Temple? I don't know. Yi Xingyuan shook his head and said, I just sit in this building and stay away from the inner circle of Tiandan Temple. Don't worry, I will definitely keep it a secret. Chen Shang said, maybe, I can still cooperate with Yathionman. Yi Xingyuan is a person from the Tiandan Temple, and is also in charge of the Tiandan building in Longzhou City, but he secretly does many things that violate the rules of the Tiandan Temple, which shows that he is also taking risks in order to break through. In other words, as long as he is in a position like him, most people will seek benefits for themselves because of selfishness. I'll make arrangements. Yi Xingyuan nodded, then took out the communication talisman and started contacting. By the way, Mr. Yi, are you recruiting people? How is the safety of this Tiandan building? Chen Shang asked, is there a place to live here? The Tiandan building is very high, and many floors are empty. If Senior wants to stay, I can arrange it. Yi Xingyuan laughed. I have a friend who is wanted. I hope he can have a good place. Chen Shang said. Your friend is. Although Yi Xingyuan made alchemy all day, he was quite familiar with the wanted order. Feng Chen, Chen Shang whispered. Ah, it's him, this guy killed the son of City Lord Anlong. Yi Xingyuan said in surprise, is he in Dragon Ancestor City? Actually, I killed it. This matter is more complicated. Chen Shang didn't explain much. Understood. Yi Xingyuan nodded and said, I contact the Yathionman. Many of their outstanding disciples have come to participate in the Immortal Battle Conference, and it is easy to find them. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4951, Return to the Fairyland Disciple. If he can contact Yathionman through Yi Xingyuan, and can talk to the high-level officials of Yathionman, then Chen Shang does not need to participate in the Immortal Battle Conference. Chen Shang didn't really want to participate. After all, the Immortal Battle Convention needed to fight or something, and there might be a very fierce conflict, which would cause him to expose something. What's more, he doesn't want to fight and kill at all now, he just wants to quietly concoct pills. Are the disciples of Yathyanmen easy to talk? Chen Shang asked. It should be alright. Anyway, most of them are very polite to me. Yi Xingyuan said. Old Yi, you are an alchemist, and you are also the person in charge of the Tiandan building. Of course they are polite to you. Chen Shang said. And I can't reveal that I am an alchemist, so they are not sure about me. Anyway, talk to them first. If that doesn't work, I'll find a way to help you contact other Yathyanmen. Yi Xingyuan said. Yathyanmen is very big, there must be people who are willing to talk to you. It was dawn, and Yi Xingyuan brought Chen Shang to a luxurious living room. Yi Xingyuan had already made appointments with 3 Yathyanmen disciples through a communication talisman. They are already on their way, and they will soon arrive at the Tiandan building. Not long after, 3 disciples of Yathyanmen came to the living room, 1 female and 2 males, and the female disciple seemed to have a very high status, and the 2 men around her looked at her with awe. The disciples of Yathyanmen are not particularly polite to Yi Xingyuan. Anyway, Chen Shang can't see a friendly attitude. I don't know if Yi Zuzu came to us, what's the urgency? The woman said, hope is an important matter, our time is precious, don't blame us for not giving you a good look if you waste our time. Quote. Yi Xingyuan had talked to Chen Shang about this woman before, she was a disciple of returning to the fairyland in Yathyanmen. This time, Yathyanmen sent 10 outstanding disciples to the Immortal realm to participate in the Immortal battle, and this woman is one of them. It is said that her strength can be ranked among the top 3 disciples of the Immortal realm. The woman's name is Huang Yihong. She is tall and thin, and looks domineering. Although she is quite beautiful, she always looks at people with a bit of contempt and arrogance, which makes people feel a little uncomfortable. Yi Xingyuan frowned immediately, because Huang Yihong's attitude was really not very friendly. Miss Huang, I don't seem to have offended you, do I? I came to you this time to ask for something. Yi Xingyuan was a little embarrassed, because he didn't know why Huang Yihong did this. If Huang Yihong still has this attitude, then there is no way to talk with Chen Shang. Master Yi, I heard that you lost a Guixian divine pill. Huang Yihong sneered. Aren't you going to borrow it from our Yathyanmen now? Let me tell you, Guixian divine pill is very scarce, we Yathyanmen there is no extra. Yi Xingyuan suddenly understood. He also didn't expect that the fact that he lost one of the immortal guiding pills would spread all over the city. He suddenly realized that it was very likely that the inside of the Tiandan temple was leaking secrets, just to pull him off the horse. He began to suspect that the Guixian divine pill was stolen, it may also be done by the inner ghost. Chen Shang had such guesses before, and now he also knows that someone is eyeing Yi Xingyuan, the owner of the dragon ancestral city Tiandan, and wants to fix Yi Xingyuan. In Sha Chen Shang, Master Yi is a friend of my father. I am asking Master Yi for help. I hope that when I participate in the Immortal Battle Conference, I can get some seniors from Yathyanmen to help me secretly. Chen Shang stepped forward and said. You, why? Huang Yihong sneered. I thought it was something, but it turned out to be this kind of shit. Lord Yi, you can't protect yourself, yet you are still doing things for others. Miss Huang, Yi Xingyuan sighed, not knowing what to say. Just this shit, he doesn't deserve to have a little relationship with our Yathyanmen. Huang Yihong sneered. Master Yi, the cooperative relationship between our Yathyanmen and you will end from now on. Do it yourself. What a waste of time, humph. Huang Yihong walked away angrily after speaking. Elder Yi, is this a Yathyanmen disciple? Chen Shang pouted and said, you're quite arrogant. It's not like this. Most of Yathyanmen's disciples are pretty good, but this Huang girl is more powerful. Yi Xingyuan smiled bitterly. Senior, I'm really sorry for causing you to be scolded. It's alright, alright. Chen Shang waved his hand and said with a smile. Old Yi, it seems that someone in the Tiandan temple is targeting you and will bring you down. I didn't expect that the position of this little landlord would be remembered by others. Yi Xingyuan shook his head and smiled bitterly. If they want it, then they want it. Anyway, I don't care about it. He learned to refine the immortal pill, and he also had a new understanding of alchemy. He thought that even if he did not rely on the Tiandan temple, he could still make a difference in the way of alchemy. It seems that I have to go to the Immortal Battle Convention. Chen Shang sighed. Although it is troublesome, it seems to be the only way. After passing through the disciples of Yathyanman, Chen Shang also knew that it would be difficult to contact the senior officials of Yathyanman unless he showed his worth. Senior, don't worry, I will continue to contact other Yathyanman disciples. The Yathyanman disciples are not just those few. Yi Xingyuan took out the messenger and continued to contact. Lao Yi, why do you have contact information with the disciples of Yathyanman? Chen Shang asked curiously. It's all business dealings, Yi Xingyuan said with a smile. In Longzhou City, Tiandanlu is the only place to trade pills after all. They trade pills here. I can help them arrange everything and save a lot of things. So it is. Chen Shang smiled, and he also guessed that Yi Xingyuan must have made a lot of money from it. Yathyanman sent 10 disciples to the Immortal realm to participate in the Immortal Battle Conference. I know a few, Yi Xingyuan said with a smile. I contacted another one, if I remember correctly, this one is better to talk to. Is it a man or a woman? Chen Shang asked. Woman, I don't know her name, only Xiaoshui. Yi Xingyuan said. Why is it a woman again? Chen Shang frowned. The 2 strongest executives in Yathyanman are women, so they prefer to train female disciples. Yi Xingyuan said. Yes, Chen Shang nodded. Chen Shang and Yi Xingyuan were sitting in the hall, waiting for that, Xiaoshui, to come. Tiandan Tower is in a relatively prosperous location in Longzhou City, and the disciples of Yathyanman are also nearby, so Chen Shang and the others didn't wait long, that Xiaoshui came. This female disciple of Yathyanman, Xiaoshui, was wearing a white dress with a white gauze covering her mouth and nose. Even so, when Chen Shang saw this woman, he almost cried out in shock. He almost shouted out the word, Ling Shui, because this woman's eyes were exactly the same as Guo Ling Shui's, her face shape was almost the same, even her eyes were similar. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4952, Little Snow Girl. The disciple of Yathyanman, whose name is Xiaoshui, and who looks exactly like Guo Ling Shui, is still here to participate in the fairy battle. Then Chen Shang probably guessed what was going on. This Xiaoshui is most likely the clone of Yathyanman's headmaster Da Ling Shui. She arranged for her avatar to show that this Immortal Battle Conference is very important. After all, the headmaster of Yathyanman has come out in person. Of course, this Da Ling Shui didn't know Chen Shang. She was Guo Ling Shui, who was very different from the sky, and she was called Da Ling Shui by Chen Shang and the others. Little Snow Girl, thank you very much for coming. Yi Xingyuan hurriedly greeted the little snow girl to take a seat. Lord Yi, I've heard a little about you. Xiaoshui nodded and said, it's no trivial matter to lose the immortal pill. If the Tiandan temple is investigated, you will definitely be punished severely. I can lend you a hand. Grain to immortal pill, to help you get through this difficult time. Thank you so much for the kindness of little snow girl. Yi Xingyuan laughed very happily, because this little snow girl really wanted to help him sincerely. You're welcome. I, Yathyanman, trade medicinal pills in the Tiandan building in Longzhou City, and I am also thankful for the care of Lord Yi, which has provided us with a lot of convenience. We and Lord Yi are basically helping each other. The tone of Xiaoshui's speech is also so cold, but it is a little more human, and it is higher than the previous Huang Yihong. When Chen Shang first met Guo Ling Shui, he also felt the same way, indicating that the 2 Guo Ling Shuis in 2 different worlds should have similar personalities. Little snow girl, I'll be honest, I did lose the immortal guiding pill. But it was also because of this fate. In a hurry, I broke through the bottleneck and successfully forged the immortal guiding pill. After he finished speaking, Yi Xingyuan took out the Guixian Shendan he had refined and handed it to the surprised little snow maiden. This little snow maiden was really surprised, because she knew very well that an alchemist who could create the immortal guiding pill was worth making friends with. The words just now were taught to Yi Xingyuan by Chen Shang before. If he really wanted to reveal that he could refine the immortal guiding pill, he would say that it was because of chance. Xiaoshui is Guo Ling Shui's avatar after all, so she is also very clear that it is not so easy to refine the immortal guiding pill, because the real secret of alchemy is in the hands of the Tiandan temple. The Tiandan temple will never delegate this kind of alchemy to the core members. Yi Xingyuan is obviously not a core member, otherwise he will not be tricked. Congratulations to Master Yi for breaking through. Xiaoshui also stood up immediately and congratulated Yi Xingyuan. Miss Xiaoshui, I'm inviting you this time because I hope you can take care of this little brother, because he is also going to participate in the Immortal Battle Conference, and he is very longing for Yathyanman and hopes to make friends with Yathyanman disciples. Yi Xingyuan at this time, he pushed Chen Shang and said with a smile, "This little brother is the son of one of my benefactors and he is a very nice person. I'm going under Chen Shang, I've seen little snow girl." Chen Shang also quickly said politely. Since it was Lord Yi who spoke, I will definitely take care of him during the Immortal Battle Conference. Xiao Shui nodded, and then whispered, "I wonder if it is convenient for Lord Yi, help me refine 10 pills of the Immortal Returning God. Pay you to drive." Chen Shang was secretly surprised, doesn't this Yathionman have the Immortal Returning Divine Pill? Could it be that the Guixian Shendan is in the hands of the Tiandan Temple? Because in Chen Zhang's opinion, Guixian Divine Pill is easy to refine, and Yathionman is such a big sect, it's impossible not to have alchemists, right? As long as Xiao Shui provides the medicinal materials, I don't charge any payment. I just hope that Miss Xiao Shui can take good care of this little friend. Not to mention 10 pills, 100 pills is not a problem. Yi Xingyuan now also feels that his status has become much higher after he can refine the Immortal Guiding Pill. No problem. Little Snow Girl looked at Chen Shang again, nodded and said, "I will take good care of this young master. During the Immortal Battle Conference, I will do my best to keep him. If he does well, I can even be the leader." He recruited Yathionman. Xiao Shui can also see that Yi Xingyuan attaches great importance to Chen Shang, which shows that the relationship between the two is extraordinary. In order to win Yi Xingyuan to concoct alchemy for her, she must treat Chen Shang well. "Thank you, Miss Snow." Yi Xingyuan smiled with satisfaction. "I believe Miss Snow must get along well with young Master Shen." "Master Yi, wait a moment, I'll come after I go back, and I'll go get 10 medicinal herbs." Little Snow Girl said. "Take 100 copies, I'll help you refine it when I'm free." Yi Xingyuan smiled. "Anyway, I just learned to refine the Immortal Pill, and I need to refine it more to be more stable. Then there is the owner of Lao Yi, Xiao Shui will say goodbye first, see you later." Xiao Shui left immediately. Yi Xingyuan and Chen Shang sent Xiao Shui out, and after returning, Yi Xingyuan laughed happily. "This kind of feeling is really good," Yi Xingyuan said with a smile. "I have to thank my predecessors for pointing me to alchemy. I didn't expect that even Yathionman would be so short of immortal pills. Can't Yathionman be able to refine it?" Chen Shang was very puzzled. It stands to reason that they have a lot of medicinal materials, so they should be able to refine them. "I don't know why they can't make it." After Yi Xingyuan finished speaking, he patted his head and said, "I forgot to remind Miss Shui to tell her not to tell me that I could make the Guixian Shendan, or else I'll be in trouble." After he finished speaking, he immediately took out the communication talisman, adding that he was indeed a little complacent just now. Chen Shang almost laughed out loud, because he knew that Miss Snow was the head teacher of Yathionman. Otherwise, he wouldn't be boasting about Heiko, saying that he could be recruited into Yathionman, and only the headmaster could make such a guarantee. So she will definitely keep Yi Xingyuan's alchemy a secret. It didn't take long for little Snow Girl to come, and she brought dozens of medicinal materials of the Immortal Guiding Pill to Yi Xingyuan. She had seen the divine elixir that Yi Xingyuan refined, and she was very satisfied with the quality. She was also looking forward to the elixir that Yi Xingyuan would give her next. "Master Yi, I'll take young Master Shen around now, chat with him casually, and take a look at his roots. I'll be able to team up with him at the Immortal Battle Conference." Little Snow Girl said. "Okay, no problem, I can trust little Snow Girl. I've been concocting pills in the past few days, and after the Immortal Battle Conference, I should be able to deliver these dozens of Guixian divine pills to you." Yi Xingyuan said with a smile. He is in a really good mood now. Yi Xingyuan pretended to be an elder, told Chen Shang a few words, gave Chen Shang a communication talisman, and then let Chen Shang go with little Snow Girl. Chen Shang secretly contacted Guo Lingshe and Charming Heavenly Demon who were still in the hotel, and told Guo Lingshe that when he met a woman, it was most likely Da Ling Shui's clone, and he could arrange for them to meet. Guo Lingshe thought about it, and decided to stay away for the time being, and let Chen Shang and little Snow get acquainted. She is not ready for the two of them to meet now, after all, that is another self, she is quite worried that after the meeting, the other party will kill her. Chen Shang also arranged for Guo Lingshe and Meidian Yao to stay in the Tiandan building. He instructed Yi Xingyuan with a communication talisman, and he would handle the matter in person. Then let Feng Chen go to Tiandan building to settle down, and Yi Xingyuan will arrange these things. Chen Shang left with little Snow Maiden, the two walked on the street, it was night now. "Little Snow Girl, where are we going?" Chen Shang asked. Go outside the city, little snow girl said. You want to participate in the Immortal Battle Conference, I have to see how strong you are. I secretly probed you just now, it's strange, I can't judge your specific cultivation base. Do you like this site? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4953, Divide Up the Site. Chen Shang was stunned for a while, he actually didn't know what his current strength was. The girl in front of Xiao Shui is Daling Shui's clone, she must be very strong, and if Chen Shang really wants to compete with her, he has to grasp it well, he can't make himself look too weak, and he can't make himself look too strong. This really made Chen Shang feel a little embarrassed, because little snow girl's deity is a very powerful head teacher. No matter how much Chen Shang hides, he will be seen by the other party, so he doesn't want to fight with little snow girl. He thought for a moment in his mind, and soon came up with a solution. Little snow girl, before, I suffered some internal injuries because of some problems in my cultivation. Chen Shang said a little embarrassedly, however, my strength is still there, I just can't maintain my best state. Well, I'll be careful, I won't hurt you again. Xiao Shui nodded, jumped into a large car next to her, and motioned for Chen Shang to get up too. After Chen Shang entered the carriage, she controlled the cart to drive at a high speed. Miss Shui, is this Immortal Battle Conference important? I learned from the Master Yi that the major sects seem to attach great importance to this Immortal Battle Conference. Why is this? Chen Shang asked. This involves a lot of secrets. Xiao Shui was also looking at Chen Shang at this time. She saw that Chen Shang was very handsome, but her clear eyes seemed quite simple, and there was a feeling of being inexperienced in the world, and then said, I can only say it briefly, but remember, don't say it. In fact, Xiao Shui felt that Chen Shang was innocent, but it was in her eyes that Chen Shang did not deliberately pretend to be anything. If Chen Shang knew that in Xiao Shui's eyes, he was a simple boy, he would probably be surprised too. I won't say it. Chen Shang nodded again and again. Immortal War Conference, it's essentially a meeting of major sects and major forces to play games. Xiao Shui said in a low voice. The reason why this time is ahead of schedule is because Yishan collided with another Yishan, which is equivalent to swallowing another Yishan. In order to compete for territory, the parties will advance the Immortal Battle Conference to divide up the interests of that little Yishan. Little Yishan, Chen Shang was surprised, he didn't expect that the names here would be similar. Yes, our Yishan is much bigger than that Yishan. So we are a big Yishan, and there is a small Yishan. Xiao Shui said. Actually, this is a different sky in time and space, but now I don't know why. The time and space are confused, and then collide and entangle, and they can't be separated, so we must divide the site well to avoid the battle between the forces of the big different world. Chen Shang secretly marveled at the pattern of this great Yishan. This is undoubtedly the best, it can indeed prevent the great Yishan from falling into chaos. After all, when the two Yishans were mixed together, it was already very chaotic. If everyone was still fighting, it would be even more chaotic. How to divide? It mainly depends on the results of the Immortal Battle Conference. Xiao Shui said. The major forces will send 10 disciples, and whoever can last until the end has the most disciples will have the most shares. Chen Shang now understands why Yaoshan clan head church sent his clone to go out. As long as her avatar participates, it can take up a share. This time, it's the little Yishan's territory, but it's a huge benefit. As such, there may be more avatars of big brothers who participate in this Immortal Battle Conference. Daling Shui can think of sending her own clone, what about other forces? Definitely thinking the same way, so you can make sure you get your share. Mr. Shen, if you pass the test in all aspects, I can even recruit you into Yathionman in advance. Xiao Shui said. This, little snow girl, you need the approval of the elders to get started, right? Chen Shang frowned. No, although I am a disciple, I am the one with the highest status under the headmaster and the elders. They have granted me the power to accept disciples. As long as I meet a suitable disciple, I can directly use the Yaoshan Pan for the initiation ceremony. Xiao Shui said. Chen Shang didn't find it strange. After all, little snow girl was Daling Shui's clone, and her power was exactly the same as that of the headmaster. Miss Xiao Shui, I heard that you have already sent 10 disciples. I'm afraid it's not my share, right? Chen Shang scratched his head and smiled awkwardly. Besides, why do you think I'm strong? Young Master Shen, to be honest, you are one of the few people I can't see through. Xiao Shui said, and you were introduced by Master Yi. Master Yi didn't reveal your identity, but Master Yi was willing to give such a great enthusiasm to help. If you join Yathionman, it means that your identity is not simple. Ah, Chen Shang was indeed a little surprised. He didn't expect that this little snow girl would think of this level. Also, with your appearance, Lord Yi happened to be able to refine the immortal guiding pill, so you must have an extraordinary origin. Xiao Shui whispered, young Master Shen, although I don't know your origin, since you are Lord Yi guaranteed, then I also think there is nothing wrong with you. As long as you pass my assessment, you can enter Yathionman. Chen Shang began to think about whether he should explain his origins to this little snow maiden. Seeing Chen Shang thinking, little snow girl did not continue to speak, but quietly controlled the cart to drive. Chen Shang secretly used the communication talisman, contacted Guo Lingshe and charming Tian Yao, told them about the situation just now, and discussed with them whether to talk more to little snow girl. I didn't expect that this extraordinary senior sister is quite capable. Mei Tian Yao laughed. Young Master Shen, you can tell her. But, you have to be reserved, don't talk about me and my junior sister here for the time being. Guo Lingshe said, or you can deceive her and say that you have some connections with Xiaoyishan's Yathionman. What? Okay, I get it. After discussing with them, Chen Shang also had an idea. At this time, the cart had already used the gate of Longzhou City. Xiao Shui still has a certain prestige here, and the guards of the magnificent city gate will let go immediately when they see the token she shows. Little snow girl, in fact, I'm from that Xiaoyishan. Chen Shang said. In Xiaoyishan, there is also a Yaoshan sect. However, that Yaoshan sect already exists in name only. When Xiao Shui heard this, she looked at Chen Shang in shock, because she had always wanted to know the situation of Yathionman in Xiaoyishan, but she had no clue to know about this news. Now that someone from Xiaoyishan ran over, she was surprised. So, you just met Master Yi not long ago. Little snow girl said solemnly, did you teach him the Guixian divine pill? After finishing speaking, she stared at Chen Shang. If this is the case, then she must recruit Chen Shang. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4954, 6 Magic Mirrors. Yes, Chen Shang nodded. Xiao Shui was a little surprised to think that the immortal guiding pill was taught to Yi Xingyuan by him. In Xiaoyishan, do alchemists master the refining method of the immortal guiding pill? Xiao Shui is really curious now. It's not. Chen Shang shook his head and said, I have never been in contact with the immortal guiding pill before. I was also very curious about the Dao Yishan's pill Dao, so I went to find Lord Yi, who happened to be refining the immortal guiding pill at that time. Dan failed, then I pointed him, and he succeeded. Xiao Shui's deity is Da Lingshe, who has lived for many years. She naturally knows that an alchemist who can achieve this level must be the kind with extraordinary talent. Just getting started, you can make a pill that you have never touched before. This level is very high. You participated in the Immortal Battle Conference just to enter Yathionman? Xiao Shui asked. Yes, Chen Shang nodded. I said just now that I have some connections with that Yathionman in Xiaoyishan. What kind of strength are you in Xiaoyishan? The top one, Xiao Shui asked again. Although I can't see through you, I don't think how strong you are. This is very strange. I'm not the top, but the weaker one. After all, I'm mainly alchemy. Chen Shang spread his hands and said, in Xiaoyishan, I'm not a cultivator, so I'm not in the fairyland now. What's your relationship with Xiaoyishan's Yathionman? Xiao Shui asked. The patriarch of Yathionman, that is, Yathionzu, once helped me a little bit. Later, she entered Daishan and was arrested by the demon ancestor. Chen Shang sighed. I want to know, the Yathionman of Daishan. What kind of feelings do you have for Yao Tianzu, the little Yishan? You want to save her? Xiao Shui asked. Yes, Chen Shang nodded. Can't save it. We Yathionman also wanted to save, but then gave up. Xiao Shui closed her eyes and said, after all, she is Xiaoyishan's Yaozu, not our big Yaozu. Our big Yishan's Yaozu. Yaozu, he is already dead. Dead. Chen Shang couldn't believe it, and said, I thought your Yaozu was just sealed or disappeared. Dead, die in front of us. Killed by the demon ancestor. Xiao Shui sighed, and when she opened her eyes, she could see the sadness and anger in her beautiful eyes. It was actually killed by the demon ancestor. Your Yao ancestors are now in the hands of the demon ancestors. She has no choice but to die. This may be their fate. Xiao Shui shook her head and said, we Yathionman can't save her. Then do you know where she is being held? Chen Shang asked. She and Xiaoyishan's dragon ancestor are both locked in the demon ancestor's 6 paths demon city. Xiao Shui said, the six-path demon city is where the demon ancestor is the most powerful. This city is like a small star, with space for jumping. Ability, has a strong defense, and can fly quickly. Chen Shang had a bad premonition when he heard the words Lu Dao. When the Six Paths Magic City is flying at high speed, it can easily break through a giant sun. Xiao Shui continued, there is a square in the Six-Path Magic City called Tianxing Square. There is a six-path magic mirror in the middle of the square. Longzhu and Yaozu was sealed in the six magic mirrors. Chen Shang was shocked because he had a six-path divine mirror. Unexpectedly, there is a six-path magic mirror in Shaoyishan. Little Snow Girl, is that six-path magic mirror strong? Chen Shang asked. It's not only very strong, isn't it? That's simply invincible. The reason why the demon ancestor is strong is because of this six magic mirror. There is a powerful ancestral source of creation, and there are a large number of stars. The six magic mirrors rely on a large number of stars inside to release superpower. Chen Shang was even more shocked, because it sounded too similar to the divine mirror of six paths. I heard that your Yathionman and demon ancestor are against each other, right? He is so powerful, but he can't help your Yathionman. Chen Shang asked. Because the location of our Yathionman is not weak. It's just that we can't break out a powerful attack, but we have a strong defense and escape ability, and it is enough to avoid the siege of the demon ancestor. Xiao Shui said, the demon ancestor and we have stopped fighting. It's been many years, and we haven't had any conflict now. It's just, he seems to want to exchange your Yaozu with us. Exchange what? Chen Shang asked. This involves the secret of our Yathionman, I can't tell you. Xiao Shui shook her head. Chen Shang has now got very important information. The Yathionman of Daishan has a strong self-protection power, and the demon ancestors have nothing to do with them. The demon ancestor of Daishan has a super powerful six-way magic mirror, which is the power of the demon ancestor. Young Master Shen, whether it's Yaozu, demon ancestor, or we, are actually very weak. Xiao Shui was silent for a while, and then said, for example, this time and space meet and collide, do you think this kind of thing can the demon ancestors and their power do it? Chen Shang thought of that group of people, Time Cultivator. Little Snow Girl, have you heard of the Time Cultivator? Chen Shang asked. Have you ever been in contact with these people? Xiao Shui was a little surprised. I have been in contact with one. Chen Shang said. What's wrong? As long as you come into contact with them, you will be very unlucky. Have you encountered any unfortunate things in the future? Xiao Shui asked. No. Chen Shang thought about it, he didn't seem to encounter any bad luck, but both Longzhu and Yaozu were unlucky. I just heard about them. My master is Yaozu. She once said that the existence of time monks, even she can't understand. I don't know if they are good or evil. Xiao Shui said. Yaozu himself is a time cultivator, but he is still in a very strange state, so he has not awakened. Young Master Shen, since you are an alchemist, then as long as you can refine the immortal guiding pill, I will accept you into Yathionman. Xiao Shui said, you said before that you entered Yathionman to save your Yaozu. You should be trying to contact the headmaster of Yathionman and then convince her to save her, right? Chen Shang did not deny it, and nodded. Our headmaster will not save you. Then do you still want to enter Yathionman? Xiao Shui gave Chen Shang a very clear answer. I'll consider it. Chen Shang sighed, and then secretly communicated with Guoling Shay and the charming heaven demon. They were very sad when they found out. They also understand that the Yathionman of Daishan will not be rescued. After all, that is something that cannot be done at all. If they are forcibly rescued, they will suffer heavy losses, and in the end, they will be empty. After Guoling Shay and Meidian Yao thought about it, they decided to let Chen Shang give up, and not let him continue to have any interaction with Yathionman so as not to harm this Yathionman. However, Chen Shang himself suddenly made a decision. I understand that you don't save Yaozu. After all, she has nothing to do with you. However, I'm going to save it. Can you provide me with relevant information? Chen Shang said to Xiao Shui. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 4955, Refined to Immortal. Seeing Chen Shang say these words, Xiao Shui felt that Chen Shang was more simple, he was just a stunned young man who didn't know anything and wanted to save people. We can't get too specific information, so we can only do our best, Xiao Shui said. When you want to save people, you'd better tell me. We also provide limited help. 1. While speaking, Xiaoshui summoned a small building from the storage artifact, and then took out another medicinal material and handed it to Chen Shang. This is the medicinal material for refining Guixian Shendan. The most important thing is that Yaoshan Julian and Xiaoshui handed Chen Shang a pot of medicinal materials. Chen Shang saw Yaoshan Jade Lotus. The palm-sized lotus looked like it was carved from a piece of flawless white jade, and it also emitted a faint fluorescence. The other herbs were just a few black fruits and a lot of messy grass leaves, and Chen Shang didn't know what those were. But he can see at a glance that those are auxiliary medicinal materials, all used to stabilize Yaoshan Julian. Yaoshan Julian is very beautiful and gentle, and it is cool to touch it gently. Chen Shang is very clear that Yaoshan Julian is a very strong medicinal material, and other auxiliary medicinal materials are needed to neutralize and dilute it, in order to weaken the violent fierceness of Yaoshan Julian. Just use this one. Chen Shang grabbed Yaoshan Julian, returned the pot of auxiliary medicinal materials to Xiaoshui, and then walked into the small building. Don't you need other auxiliary medicines? Those auxiliary medicines are also very precious. Xiaoshui hugged the pot of auxiliary medicines and quickly followed. Shen Gongzi, I think it is still necessary to use auxiliary medicines, otherwise, the quality may not match. Not on one. Little Snow Girl, do you also know the function of auxiliary medicinal materials? Chen Shang smiled and said, and then took out the world-defying divine stove. With the world-defining divine furnace, Chen Shang didn't need any auxiliary herbs to weaken Yaoshan Julian's potency. I know a thing or two. There are also alchemists in Yathionmen. Although they can't make the immortal guiding pill, they have studied this pill for many years. Xiaoshui said. Then Yathionmen's alchemist, what do you think is the main function of the auxiliary medicinal materials? Chen Shang asked Yi Xingyuan before. He said the reason, but it was wrong. The main purpose is to increase the self-cohesion of Yaoshan Julian. After Yaoshan Julian is burned by the flame, it is turned into energy and medicinal powder. The medicinal powder and medicinal gas absorb energy from the flame and self-enhance, and finally condense into a pill. Auxiliary medicinal materials are integrated into the flame, and the medicinal powder and medicinal gas formed by Yaoshan Julian will absorb the auxiliary medicinal materials in the flame, and their properties will change. When Yaoshan Julian condenses the pill, not only the quality can be improved, but also more easy to condense one. Xiaoshui spoke in a straightforward manner, as if she had successfully refined the immortal guiding pill. Have your alchemists succeeded in refining the immortal returning divine pill? Chen Shang asked. No, however, based on their years of summary, the auxiliary medicinal materials are just like this. Without these auxiliary medicinal materials, they would have failed even more miserably. Xiaoshui thought about it and continued, they are only one step away from success. If there are no auxiliary medicinal materials, they are still many steps away from success. Actually, it's not like this. Chen Shang smiled and said, these auxiliary medicinal materials, although they are all medicinal materials that have been grown for many years and contain strong energy, they can't enhance the quality at all, but will dilute Yao Yao. Tianyulian 1. This, Xiaoshui is a bit unbelievable. Although she doesn't alchemy, she often discusses the Immortal Guild pill with the group of alchemists, so she can say that she knows this very well. Auxiliary medicinal materials can dilute most of the medicinal power of Yaoshan Julian. Chen Shang continued. The main function of this is to reduce the potency of Yaoshan Julian. Because Yaoshan Julian is a kind of medicinal material that is soft on the outside and firm on the inside, it contains extremely strong potency, especially when condensing pills. It is the most explosive moment of Yaoshan Julian's energy 1. Xiaoshui looked shocked, because she had never heard of such a statement. Let's put it this way, adding auxiliary medicinal materials will dilute Yaoshan Julian's energy of at least 8 layers. Chen Shang spread his hands and said, these energies are all used by auxiliary medicinal materials to enhance the flame, and then the flame is deflated and exhausted through the pill furnace. Pressure released 1. Is this true? Wouldn't it waste a lot of Yaoshan Julian's energy? Xiaoshui couldn't believe it. Chen Shang made a gesture of invitation to Xiaoshui, motioning her to check the world-defying divine furnace, because he was about to start alchemy. The space inside the world-defying divine stove is very large, and it is divided into many areas, which can accommodate stars and so on, but what Xiaoshui sees now is only a very ordinary pill stove, and can't see the huge hidden space. There is no problem with the pill furnace. Xiaoshui nodded and said, young Master Shen, you have never come into contact with the immortal guiding pill before, but why did you understand so much in such a short period of time? Quote. Experience 1. Chen Shang smiled and said, "These medicinal herbs, if I take a look at them, I can probably know what the situation is." 1. Xiao Shui was very surprised. How much experience did Chen Shang have accumulated? Chen Shang immediately started, put Yaoshan jade lotus into the divine furnace, and then poured it into the flame. Then, with a little control, he could quickly refine the immortal guiding pill. He controlled and separated 4 groups of medicinal energy in the pill furnace for condensing pills. In order not to surprise Xiao Shui, he deliberately slowed down the speed, and it took him a long time to open the pill furnace. When she opened the pill furnace, Xiao Shui immediately felt that the incense of the pill was very strong, and the pill energy was extremely pressing, as if there was a faint pill energy inside. Chen Shang didn't inject his pill soul this time, because that was really amazing, and it was unnecessary. These 4 Guixian divine pills were enough to make Xiao Shui drop her jaw. Sure enough, Xiao Shui was stunned when she saw the 4 golden Guixian divine pills. If you use auxiliary medicinal materials, you can only make 1 grain. Chen Shang smiled and said, "Little snow girl, look at this quality." Quote. The quality is superb. I have never seen the immortal returning divine pill of this quality, and I can't be sure how high it is. Xiao Shui took a deep breath and looked at Chen Shang with a bit of awe and admiration in her eyes. She used to think that Chen Zhang's cultivation was too low and his level of alchemy was limited. Now that she saw Chen Zhang's alchemy skills, she was very sure that Chen Zhang's accomplishments in alchemy were far superior to many alchemy masters. Xiao Shui also understands why someone like Chen Shang with a low cultivation base has some connections with Yaozu of Shao Yishan. Mastering such an alchemy technique, even a figure at the level of Tianzu will be in awe of it. Young Master Shen, from now on you will be a disciple of Yathianmen. Xiao Shui immediately took out a disc. This is a ceremony for recruiting disciples. Under Xiao Shui's operation, Chen Shang cooperated to complete the initiation ceremony. The disc also projected a very small Yaoshan jade lotus on the back of Chen Zhang's hand, proving that he was a disciple of Yathianmen. Senior sister Xiao Shui 1. Chen Shang bowed with a smile. Junior brother, don't be polite. You will be a lot more free when you join Yathianmen. As long as you can cooperate with me to complete the task of this immortal battle conference, you will be a free one. Xiao Shui in the future, and said with a faint smile. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4956, Domineering Sister. Chen Shang knew that Xiao Shui was the headmaster of Yathianmen, and what she said naturally counted, so he was very relieved. Senior sister, did you participate in the battle for the demon ancestor of the territory through the Immortal Battle Conference? Chen Shang asked. There is also participation, because we have to abide by this rule. Our great ancestors, the ancestors and the ancestors of the dragon, will send people to participate, said Xiao Shui. Ah, who is so powerful, can set such a rule, and everyone obeys it? Chen Shang said in surprise. Time Cultivator 1. Xiao Shui said. If you don't do what they say, Da Yishan will not be able to maintain operation. This is what the Time Cultivator said. In short, I have to abide by 1. Chen Shang is even more curious about the group of Time Cultivators. What kind of existence is it? It is possible to make rules in this strange world. By the way, I am an alchemist. Can I get any help from participating in the Immortal Battle Conference? Chen Shang said. As long as you know how to make alchemy. There is an alchemy level in the Fairy Battle Conference, Xiao Shui said. That level is quite difficult, and it is still set up in the Tiandan Temple. If you don't have alchemy, you can only go for it. It's laborious and dangerous one. So, did you bring an alchemist this time? Chen Shang asked. No, the alchemist who returned to the fairyland has gone, only a dead end. Xiao Shui shook his head and said, I am afraid that only the 3rd ancestor has cultivated an extremely good alchemist who has returned to the fairyland. It turned out to be like this. Chen Shang touched his chin and said, could it be that the Temple of Heavenly Pill was created by the 3rd ancestor secretly? Quote. I don't know, I always feel that behind the Tiandan Temple, there is also the shadow of a time monk. Xiao Shui said. Forget it, I will take you to the manor where Yathianmen is located. Chen Shang remembered the very arrogant and mean Huang Yihong from before. She was also a disciple of Yathianmen. But now that Xiao Shui is covering him, Chen Shang will not be afraid of that Huang Yihong. Yes, senior sister 1. Chen Shang nodded. They got on the cart again and returned to Longzhou City. Junior brother Shen, there is also Yathianmen in your Shaoyishan. Although it no longer exists, have you seen Guolingshe and Madian Yao from Yathionmen? Xiao Shui asked, her eyes full of curiosity. I saw one. Chen Shang nodded and said. Ah, Xiao Shui was a little surprised, but she didn't expect Chen Shang to actually see it. Then what does she look like? To be honest, you are very similar to senior sister. Although half of your face is covered, it really looks alike, especially the eyes. Chen Shang scratched his head and said with a smile, when I first saw you, I thought it was me. To her one. Are you familiar with her? Xiao Shui frowned slightly, then lowered her head, not wanting to be stared at by Chen Shang again. It's all right, I rescued her and the charming heavenly demon. Chen Shang said, she was assassinated by her junior brother and was sealed for hundreds of millions of years. It was I who rescued her. What, she was also sealed? Xiao Shui suddenly raised her head and looked at Chen Shang in surprise. Yeah, could it be that this extraordinary Guolingshe was also sealed by her junior brother Guiyuan Emperor? Chen Shang asked. Yes, it was Yaozu who rescued her at the beginning. And that seal was the one Xiao Shui that Xuanzu secretly instructed Guiyuan Emperor to do, and nodded. That's really very similar. One. Chen Shang also frowned slightly, and said, if I didn't save her, then Yaozu will come to save her next. So, have I changed Xiao Yishan? Quote. It's very likely that the charming heavenly demon. Xiao Shui asked. When I was saving Ling Shui, Sister Mei, who I saved by the way, said with a smile, at that time, Sister Mei was still possessed by Ling Shui, and she also had to control Ling Shui and Guiyuan Emperor Zun to cultivate Yaoshan's divine art. This can be said to be exactly the same. Xiao Shui took a deep breath and said, in our extraordinary world, Yaozu rescued Guolingshe and subdued the charming heavenly demon by the way. In this way, the directions of Xiao Yishan and Dai Yishan are different. Chen Shang said, could it be because of me? Quote. But your Yaozu will die soon. Xiao Shui said, as long as Yaozu is dead, the direction of Xiao Yishan should be similar to that of Dai Yishan. In other words, after Yaozu died, he could roughly correct the trajectory of the two space-times one. It's so complicated. Chen Shang shook his head and said. You call Mei Tian Yao's sister Mei and Guolingshe Ling Shui, you have a very good relationship with them, Xiao Shui said. Very good. It was also through them that I came into contact with Yaozu and Yaozu was arrested, so I entered Dai Yishan 1 with them and said Chen Shang. Their strength should be weaker than that of Yathionmen here, so they all hide and dare not show their faces one. They are also in a different world. Xiao Shui asked. Yeah, do you want to meet them? Chen Shang said with a smile. Don't be afraid of them, maybe their cultivation level is not as good as yours. I haven't seen you for a while. I have to ask the headmaster and the great elder for instructions, that is, Guolingshe and Madian Yao. One. Xiao Shui shook their heads. Chen Shang was able to catch a hint of complexity in her eyes, which showed that she was also very entangled. When they returned to Longzhou City, it was already dawn. On the way, Chen Shang also secretly contacted Guolingshe and the others to tell them the latest situation. After listening to what Chen Shang said, their hearts were like waves, because the things that happened in the early days of the two aliens were somewhat the same, but later there were differences. Xiao Shui brought Chen Shang to the manor where the disciples of Yathionmen stayed. After she came back, the disciples inside came out to greet her, and those disciples didn't know that Xiao Shui was the avatar of the headmaster. Xiao Shui had also told Chen Shang before that, in fact, many disciples had never seen the true face of the headmaster, so the Yathionmen disciples didn't know what the headmaster was like, but they often saw Madian Yao, the great elder. Seeing Xiao Shui returning with a handsome young man, the disciples of Yathionmen all had different expressions. Chen Shang jumped out of the car and saw that Huang Yihong. Huang Yihong was also very surprised when she saw Chen Shang, because she had met Chen Shang before. After all, Chen Shang was so handsome, which left a deep impression on her. Although she looked down on Chen Shang very much at the time and was full of contempt for someone with low cultivation like Chen Shang, she had to admit that she had never seen a handsome man like Chen Shang, and she also had some evil thoughts, that is catch Chen Shang as a male pet to play with. Therefore, when Huang Yihong saw senior sister Xiao Shui bringing Chen Shang back, she subconsciously thought that Xiao Shui liked Chen Zhang's handsomeness, so she brought it back as Xiao Bai to keep her. This is junior brother Shen, I just accepted him for entry, and it was approved by the headmaster. Xiao Shui's voice was cold and indifferent, and with the aura of a superior, she glanced at the other disciples. Then, she lifted her eyelids slightly, revealing a solitary domineering, which made the disciples secretly panic. Originally everyone wanted to say something, but now they don't dare to come out. Welcome Junior Brother Shen to join Yathionman 1. Junior Brother Shen, we are a family. Junior Brother Shen is very arrogant, and at first glance, you can tell that he is a rare genius in cultivating immortals. It is really great to be able to join Yathionman. The disciples all immediately greeted them with smiles, and came over to chat with Chen Shang. Huang Yihong reluctantly came over and greeted Chen Shang with a stiff fake smile. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4957, Immortal Battle Quota. Huang Yihong thought that Chen Shang was not qualified to enter Yathionman, and so were the disciples present. No one knows better than them the process of entering Yathionman to become a formal disciple. They all passed very difficult tests before they became official disciples. As for the Chen Shang brought back by Xiaoshui, she said that if she passed, she would pass, and she said that the headmaster approved it, so they were very unconvinced. Especially that Huang Yihong, she had seen Chen Shang at Yi Xingyuan's side before, but not long after that, Chen Shang actually followed Xiaoshui back. Therefore, in Huang Yihong's opinion, it was Xiaoshui who was in heat, and in order to hook up with such a handsome little white face, Chen Shang was recruited behind his back. Hello, brothers and sisters. Please give me more advice in the future. Chen Shang also quickly returned the salute with a smile. Junior brother, you come with me. You live with me these days. I will tell you about the Yathionman's rules next. Xiaoshui said to Chen Shang, and then walked to a small building in the manor. In this way, Chen Shang followed Xiaoshui into the small building, and the other disciples watched them go in, and all kinds of guesses appeared in their hearts. The disciples of Yathionman were somewhat dissatisfied, but they did not dare to say anything, because they all knew the strength of this senior sister Xiaoshui, and also knew that she was highly valued by the headmaster and the great elder, and was even favored by the great elder. No one dares to offend such a big sister. Chen Shang opened his eyes and opened his eyes. Although he couldn't read everyone's inner thoughts, he could already see that these people had bad feelings towards him. He also understood why this was happening. After all, senior sister Xiaoshui was so beautiful and powerful. She suddenly returned with a handsome man and directly declared that she was a disciple of Yathionman. It was normal to be misunderstood. After Chen Shang entered that building, he chose a room. Senior sister, they don't seem to welcome me very much. Chen Shang said. If you tell them that I want to join the team to participate in the Immortal Battle Conference, will they object? The quota for the Immortal Battle Conference was originally set by me. Xiaoshui said, don't tell them about your ability to concoct alchemy. If it spreads out, the Temple of Heavenly Pill will come to cause trouble. Senior sister, if I expose alchemy at the Immortal Battle Conference, will the Alchemy Temple come to trouble me that day? Chen Shang asked. You don't have to worry about this, the headmaster and the first elder will come forward at that time. Xiaoshui said, as long as you cooperate at that time. Okay, I got it. Chen Shang is also looking forward to that fairy battle conference. As long as the fairy war conference ends and Yathionman gets benefits, he will provide him with information about Yaozu and Longzhu. At that time, he can start planning to save Yaozu and Longzhu. Chen Shang knew very well that his strength was limited, and he had to save Yaozu and Longzhu. Only in this way could he block the demon ancestor for a while, otherwise, it would be very troublesome for the world-defying universe to be targeted by demon ancestor Xuanzu. Junior brother Shen, take a good rest first. You were very tired from alchemy before. Xiaoshui said. Well, thank you senior sister for your concern. Chen Shang nodded and went back to his room. In fact, he could feel a group of disciples surrounding the small building, and they seemed to be waiting for Xiaoshui to come out. After Chen Shang returned to the room, Xiaoshui went to open the door. After the door of the small building opened, the disciples outside hurriedly saluted Xiaoshui. Is something wrong? Xiaoshui asked in an indifferent tone. Senior sister, we are a little worried about you. A male disciple gathered up his courage and said, I'm worried that you will be deceived by junior brother Shen. What did he lie to me? Xiaoshui's voice was a little colder, and the male disciple shivered with fright. Senior sister, the origin of that person is unknown. Huang Yihong said halfway through. When she came into contact with Xiaoshui's cold eyes, she did not continue. As I said, the headmaster approves this matter. Recruiting Chen Shang for entry, without the headmaster's approval, I can't finish the process. If you have any objections, you can go to the headmaster. Xiaoshui said. By the way, I have already decided. Chen Shang won the place to participate in the Immortal Battle Conference. These words shocked the dozens of disciples of Yathianmen, and then looked at each other. They were very dissatisfied with this, but they did not dare to say anything. If you have any dissatisfaction, go to the first elder and the headmaster. Xiao Shui said. Senior sister, the first elder has come to Longzhou City. We will find her. Huang Yihong was also very upset, and said to the disciples, Go, let's go to the first elder. The great elder is the charming heavenly demon. Xiao Shui is naturally not afraid of any great elders, she is just very helpless to these young and energetic disciples. These disciples have no pattern at all, and they see themselves as arrogant, and they are very arrogant and arrogant. She is also very clear that this group of disciples has the strength and the means. They can become the top batch of disciples in the Yathianmen who return to the fairyland because they competed. Then it is to squeeze out and suppress competitors by various means, in order to obtain the status it is today. Chen Shang was in the room, and also heard the conversation outside. He learned that the great heavenly demon was in the dragon ancestral city, and he was looking forward to it. He wanted to meet this great heavenly demon and see if she was as enthusiastic as the charming heavenly demon. Xiao Shui sat in the hall outside, not knowing what she was thinking. Chen Shang also opened the door and went out at this time. Did you hear that? Xiao Shui asked. Yes. Chen Shang smiled and said, these disciples are too young to be very good. Yathianmen has actually declined. Xiao Shui sighed lightly and said, so over the years, I haven't been able to recruit any good disciples. What caused it? Chen Shang asked. The main reason is the Guixian Shendan. Xiao Shui said, we don't have enough Guixian Shendan to attract outstanding geniuses. The Guixian Shendan is mainly in the Temple of Heaven, and the Temple of Heaven has been sending 3 ancestors sent the Immortal pill. Chen Shang now also understands why Yathianmen places so much importance on Guixian Shendan. Aren't you in possession of Yaoshan Jade Lotus? You should be able to exchange for the Immortal Guiding Divine Pill. Chen Shang frowned and said, otherwise, this transaction is not worth it. The Guixian Shendan is only available in the Tiandan Temple, and what they say is what they say, and they have been quietly planting Yaoshan Jade Lotus, and they seem to have succeeded. It's just that the number of planting is very small. Xiao Shui said, if give them some time and stop relying on us. Yaoshan Jade Lotus, was it only planted by Yathianmen? Then why did they grow it? Chen Shang was also curious about Yaoshan Jade Lotus, and said, although I don't have much contact with Yaoshan Jade Lotus, I don't know much about Yaoshan Jade Lotus. I feel that this medicinal material is not simple. Oh, junior brother Shen, in your opinion, where is Yaoshan Julian not easy? Xiao Shui asked. Yaoshan Jade Lotus is considered to be planted, but it needs external force to fully mature in the later stage. Chen Shang said, you guys should have injected some kind of energy, right? World Defying Dan God Chapter 4958, Big Demon. Chen Shang also guessed why Yaoshan Julian is only available in Yathianmen, he did not say it. Yes, it is necessary to pass the Yaoshan Divine Art to fully plant the Yaoshan Jade Lotus. Xiao Shui said. In other words, the Tiandan Temple can be planted, which means that there are traders in our Yathianmen. Are there many disciples in Yathianmen who practice Yaoshan Divine Art? Chen Shang frowned. In his opinion, Yaoshan Divine Art should be strictly controlled and not randomly passed on to the disciples. There are more than 100. Xiao Shui said, but they have signed the Yishan Oath. If someone spreads the magic or betrays Yathianmen, they will be destroyed by the Yishan Oath to death. No, if one of the 3 patriarchs shoots. The heavenly oath spell is nothing at all. Chen Shang shook his head and said, I can handle that stuff, let alone the 3 patriarchs. Obviously, the 3 patriarchs intervened. This matter. Behind the Tiandan Temple is the 3rd ancestor. But, why did the 3rd ancestor do this? Guixianjian disciples are like ants in their eyes. They don't need to be concerned about this kind of thing. Xiao Shui couldn't understand. Maybe Yishan has some kind of rule that prevents them from using powerful powers at will. Chen Shang said. They are still very concerned about returning to the fairyland, and hope that their sect can have more disciples who return to the fairyland, or more powerful disciples. You really need to abide by the rules, otherwise, with their strength, they can kill a large number of people casually. Xiao Shui sighed. I didn't expect that Yaoshan Julian would be planted by the Tiandan Temple. Our Yathianmen it will be even more difficult to ask for the immortal pill from the Tiandan Temple in the future. I can help you practice. Chen Shang said. Junior brother Shen, you are going to save your Yaozu and Longzhu. Xiao Shui shook her head gently and said, I won't stop you from saving it, I just feel it's a pity. Is the Yaoshan divine art inherited from Yathionman a complete yin book? Chen Shang asked again. It seems that you and your Guoling Shay charming heavenly demon are very familiar with you. You have this level of understanding of Yaoshan's divine art. Xiao Shui said, the headmaster has only inherited the part that can grow Yaoshan Jade Lotus. The complete yin book, the headmaster and the great elder will not spread the word. Chen Shang guessed that the reason why Yaoshan Jade Lotus planted by Yaoshan divine art has such an effect is most likely because Yaoshan divine art has some kind of special ability. He has been asking Guoling Shay to condense the divine power beads of Yaoshan's divine art, and he is also studying how to practice divine art and Taoism. In other words, the divine power of Yaoshan divine art can make people quickly improve their cultivation. Give me Yaoshan Julian, and I'll refine the immortal guiding divine pill when I have time. Chen Shang said, but you all need to help us secretly. After the immortal battle conference is over, we will start to act to save Yaozu and he. Dragon ancestor. No problem, Xiao Shui nodded and said, I discussed this matter with the headmaster before, and I can decide. When she said this, she lowered her head slightly, she was worried that Chen Shang would see that she was Guoling Shay. In fact, Chen Shang had already seen it, but he didn't say anything about it. Originally, I can teach your alchemists to refine Guixian divine pills, but thinking about the outflow of your method of planting Yaoshan Jade Lotus, it means that you have internal ghosts. Chen Shang said, so I can't teach your alchemists to do it. I think so too, unfortunately, I don't know how to make alchemy. Xiao Shui sighed, if I could learn alchemy too, it would be great. Master knew how to do alchemy back then. Senior sister, in fact, it's not that difficult to make pills, and it's even more difficult for Guixian divine pills. Chen Shang said with a smile, I have a way, I'll make a few pill furnaces, and then those pill furnaces can be automatically refined. After returning to the immortal divine pill, you only need to put Yaoshan Jade Lotus in it and inject energy. Is it really possible? Xiao Shui was completely stunned when she heard Chen Shang say this. Don't need an alchemist, pill furnace can automatically alchemy. She had never heard of such a method. This is my self-created pill technique. Chen Shang laughed and said, I made a pill puppet by myself. This pill puppet is actually a soul. A tool soul. This tool soul is integrated into the pill furnace, and then can control the pill stove to refine Guixian divine pill. Xiao Shui looked incredulous, because for her, it was simply impossible. Just a tool soul can control the pill furnace to refine the immortal pill. Because in her cognition, even many old alchemists would have difficulty refining the immortal guiding pill, let alone a item soul. Can a tool soul concoct pills? Xiao Shui really had a hard time believing such a thing. Soul is to make it easier for you to understand. I mean pill puppet. Puppet for alchemy, this puppet is a soul puppet. Chen Shang said with a smile, it's equivalent to turning my experience in refining the immortal pill into a thread. Soul, and then this soul is perfectly combined with the pill furnace, then you can make the immortal guiding pill. If it can be done, then the requirements for the pill furnace are very high, right? This requires a very perfect fit. Xiao Shui still felt that it was difficult to achieve after hearing Chen Zhang's words. It's all right, it's not difficult for me. Chen Shang said, I have been successful, and I often do this kind of thing. Wait a while, and when I debug and match, I can give you a pill furnace like this. Xiao Shui was very shocked. For her, the alchemy technique was difficult to reach the sky, but in Chen Zhang's eyes, it seemed to be a very simple thing. At this time, a voice came from outside, saying, Little snow girl, can I come in? When Chen Shang heard this voice, he thought it was the charming heavenly demon, but he knew very well that this was the great heavenly charming heavenly demon, that is, the great heavenly demon. Elder, please come in. Xiao Shui got up to open the door, and saw a group of disciples outside the door. Charming Tian Yao was wearing a red dress, with a red robe covering the outside. Her eyes were pure and clear, but there was a seductive charm in the depths of her eyes. The moment Chen Shang saw her eyes, he almost lost his mind. Fortunately, he was also trained by the charming heavenly demon, so he could react quickly and avoid the eyes of this big heavenly demon. Just from the eye contact just now, Chen Shang was sure that the strength of the great heavenly demon was far higher than that of the charming heavenly demon. If he reacted a little slower, he would probably be embarrassed in public by the great heavenly demon. The big celestial demon was obviously trying to test Chen Shang, and she was very surprised that Chen Shang could stop him. Xiao Shui, who was beside her, was equally shocked, but now she was looking at the big celestial demon with a reproachful look, because it was very impolite to give Chen Shang such a test because she had just met. You know, Xiaoshui values Chen Zhang's alchemy skills very much, and she doesn't want this fairy sister to mess up things. You all go away. Chen Shang has passed my test just now. The great heavenly demon turned around and waved to the disciple behind him, and said with a smile, "Are you taking it now?" Chen Shang only now found out that the big celestial demon had just released a very strong soul force, causing the disciples outside to be in a trance, and even fell to the ground. And Chen Shang was still standing there, his spirit was not affected in any way. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4959, see yourself. Just now, this delicate big celestial demon released an extremely strong mental pressure, and the main target of the attack was Chen Shang. However, Chen Shang blocked it, but the surrounding disciples didn't block it. It can only show that those disciples are far inferior to Chen Shang in terms of soul strength. Chen Zhang's cultivation is not high, but his soul has such high strength. It can only mean that his cultivation is not strong because of other cultivation, but his soul has been improving. Xiaoshui had told this fairy sister before that Chen Shang knew how to concoct pills and could easily concoct several pills. Junior sister fairy didn't believe it, so she rushed over to take a look. She just tried a little, and she was sure that Chen Shang had a very strong soul. With the approval of the first elder, Huang Yihong and the other disciples couldn't say anything at this moment. Besides, they all saw that Chen Zhang's soul was indeed very strong, and even in the face of the spiritual pressure of the first elder, he could not change his face. Those disciples have all dispersed, and they don't know what Chen Zhang's background is. Only Huang Yihong knows that Chen Shang has had a relationship with Yi Xingyuan, the heavenly pill master, but she doesn't think too much about it now, so she can only leave with the other disciples. After the big demon enters the door, take off the veil. Chen Shang saw that her beautiful and pure face was exactly the same as the charming heaven demon, and even the temperament was extremely similar. Especially when her beautiful eyes stared at Chen Shang, her eyes were exactly the same as those of Xiao Yishan's charming heavenly demon. In the pure and clear beautiful eyes, there was a trace of charm, and there was a power of seduction. Little brother, I've heard everything about you from senior sister. Me and Xiao Yishan's charming heavenly demon, which one is more beautiful? Big heavenly demon giggled, and reached out to touch Chen Zhang's face. You are exactly the same. Chen Shang said. She is in the city, I think you can meet. Is it really the same? The big demon was really curious, then looked at Xiaoshui and said, Senior sister, should we meet them? They're all here. The big heavenly demon no longer concealed Xiaoshui's identity, and even reached out and took off Xiaoshui's veil with a light smile. Chen Shang looked at Xiaoshui's face, it was exactly the same as Guoling Shui's, even if it was a clone, it was not bad at all. Junior sister, I don't think it's good. Xiaoshui sighed softly. After all, we are two aliens. I don't know if we are enemies or friends. Maybe after meeting, we are hostile to each other. There are too many unknown factors, so it's still for the time being. It's better not to see. You and Ling Shui think the same way. Chen Shang said. She also thinks so. However, I don't think there will be any conflicts between the two of you. That is, after all, we are all reasonable people. When I heard that the two Xuanzu met, they immediately called them brothers and sisters. When the two Guiyuan emperors met, it was too late to meet each other. Why can't we meet them? Chen Shang really wanted to let these women meet as soon as possible, so that they could better communicate some things. Senior sister, let's meet them. Brother Shen said so. Besides, Brother Shen is an alchemist. And he has to help us refine a lot of Guixian Shendan. If you can't believe him, aren't you sorry? Datian the demon took Xiaoshui's hand and acted coquettishly. In this scene, Chen Shang seemed to be familiar with it. Xiao Yishan's charming heavenly demon also acted like a spoiled brat to Guo Lingshe. Okay, if they don't see, then I can't do anything about it. Xiaoshui thought for a while, and finally agreed. Chen Shang immediately took out the communication talisman and went to contact Guo Lingshe and Mei Dianyao. At first, Guo Lingshe didn't plan to meet her, but after she was coquettishly persuaded by the bewitching demon beside her, Guo Lingshe agreed. They agreed. Xiaoshui asked when she saw Chen Shang put away the communication talisman. Originally, Ling Shui didn't want to meet now, as if she was escaping something. Chen Shang smiled, looked at the big celestial demon, and said, however, when Sister Mei persuaded her, she agreed. We are really alike. Tian Yao giggled, I really hope to see them soon. They are in the Tiandan building. Chen Shang said. Let's go, you can go now. Chen Shang brought Xiaoshui and Daishan Yao to the Tiandan building. They are the big Yishan Guoling Shay and the Madian Yao, and it can be said that they know the little Yishan very well. At this time, as soon as I stepped into the Tiandan building, I immediately felt the existence of the other party. Chen Shang took them to a higher floor. Yi Xingyuan arranged a whole floor for Guoling Shay and Madian Yao. Every floor of the Tiandan building is very spacious, not to mention 2 people staying, even 200 people are very spacious. In the hall, the 4 women quietly looked at the other self, with surprise, admiration, happiness, and friendliness in their eyes. At least in Chen Zhang's view, they would not fight. Maybe they all have the same mind, just by looking at each other like this, you can know what the other person means. Chen Shang couldn't help but think of Longzhu. Longzhu saw the big Yishan himself, and then he made a big fight. He wanted to destroy the other party. He can only say that he was unlucky. Maybe it was because of the time cultivator that he was unlucky. Mr. Shen, we have to go in and have a good talk. Guoling Shay said, wait at the outer door. Yes, Chen Shang said with a smile, seeing that you can get along well, I am relieved. The 2 charming heavenly demons were very happy, smiling and holding hands as they walked into the room, while the 2 Guoling Shay walked behind them, and the 2 of them were also very close, and both looked at the 2 charming heavenly demons with smiles on their faces. After the door to their room was closed, Sister Xiaojing said, brother, they must be practicing Yaoshan divine art together. Yeah, I think so too. Chen Shang sat on the chair, stretched his waist, and said to Sister Xiaojing, Yaoshan divine art should be regarded as an evil art, right? It is actually practiced in this way. Brother, when you cultivate the Taoist seed of Yaoshan Shenggong, how will you practice then? But there is no one to accompany you to cultivate together. Sister Xiaojing said with a smile. If there is no one to cultivate together, it will be difficult to make progress. Practice the divine arts first and then talk about it. Chen Shang said. The boat will naturally straighten when it reaches the bridge. Chen Shang looked at the door of the room, and could feel a strong enchantment force, that is to say, the 4 girls set up an enchantment inside, and then they started to cultivate Yaoshan's divine art together. Chen Shang is also very clear about the contents of Yaoshan divine art yin book. There are many strange methods that require 2 or more women to cultivate together, and sometimes soak in water. The most strange thing is that when they cultivate together, there is a woman who has to be more active. In a word, even the big man Chen Shang shook his head when he saw it. He couldn't imagine how Yaozu came to realize this method back then. Yaozu is also a woman. She has also cultivated with a woman, most likely with her own disciple Guoling Shay. Chen Shang shook his head. He did not continue to think about it. In his opinion, the reason why this cultivation technique is so powerful must be hiding some secrets. Do you like this site? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4960, Rescue the Master. In the room, there is a very spacious bath. 2 aliens, Guoling Shay and Madian Yao, were soaking in it. They had just finished their training and were chatting at the moment. Looks like we have to save the master. It was Daling Shay, who is very different from the sky. If Chen Shang were here at this time, he would definitely be surprised, because Xiao Shui's clone was no longer there. It was Daling Shui's deity who came over and merged with Xiao Shui. Daling Shay of Great Yishan has a much higher cultivation base than Guoling Shay of Xiao Yishan. She has cultivated the ability to easily jump through space, so her deity locked the position of her clone and came over very easily. Even Chen Shang didn't notice Daling Shay coming. Although she is not your Yao ancestor from another heaven, she is the only Yao ancestor at present. There are many exercises in Yaoshan Shenggong, and only she can interpret it. Guoling Shay said, we come from 2 different heavens, but we cultivate together. After Yaoshan divine art, the improvement is huge, so we need master's guidance very much. Our Yishan master has died. The big heavenly demon was very sad and said, otherwise, the 2 Yao ancestors together to cultivate Yaoshan's magic will definitely be very strong. I always feel that master will not die. Guoling Shay said, your Yaozu from another world may still be alive, but in another form. It can still be resurrected. Yes, we rescued the current master Yaozu, and maybe we can pass her and resurrect the Yaozu on your side. Charming Tianyao said. After a long talk, they decided to do everything to save Yaozu. By the way, what does that kid outside have to do with you? Daling Shay asked. logically speaking, we shouldn't be so nice to a man. But, after seeing him, I was very unusual towards this man. Put your guard down. Yes, me too, said the big celestial demon. That guy's face is so confusing, I want to kiss him when I see it, I really want to throw him on the bed and bully him. Hearing this, Mei Tian Yao laughed wickedly. Young Master Shen is trustworthy. Guo Lingshe said, he saved me, and now he is trying to save Master. Young Master Shen is very special. Master said that he is very important. His alchemy technique is too terrifying. Is the alchemy method very popular in your alien world? Da Lingshe asked. I always feel that he can make hard to refine alchemy easily. Guo Lingshe and charming Tianyao looked at each other and both showed smiles. For him, alchemy is not difficult at all. The highest level of his alchemy is to treat his mother's source as alchemy, and he really made it. Mei Tian Yao smiled. It's just that he is not strong, we need someone to protect him, we wanted to protect him, but he acted on his own, and we couldn't do anything about it. What, he can create the mother source? Da Lingshe couldn't believe it. The big celestial monster also thought it was incredible. It's so good, but the process is also very difficult. In short, he has a small universe, that small universe was created by him, and now it has become very strong. The small universe has a parent source and a very powerful star field. After Tian Yao finished speaking, he briefly explained the origin of Chen Shang. After Tian Yao and Da Lingshe heard it, they couldn't believe that Chen Shang was such an existence. They all thought that Chen Shang was from another heaven. So if he takes action, we will definitely be able to rescue Master. He will definitely have a way. Guo Lingshe said. By the way, you said before that the demon ancestor has a six-path magic mirror, right? Charming heavenly demon asked. Both Da Lingshe and Da Tianyao nodded. Young Master Shen has a very powerful six-paths divine mirror, I don't know if the two have anything to do with it. Guo Lingshe whispered. Six Dao divine mirror. Da Lingshe was shocked again, and then looked at the big demon. This brother Shen is really incredible. The big heavenly demon looked outside the door and said with a smile, I really want to pull him into chat and take a bath with us. I'll call him in. Mei Tian Yao smiled and took out the communication talisman. The two Guo Lingshes immediately gave them a blank look. It's not like he hasn't seen it. Mei Tian Yao giggled, that kid has a lustful heart and no courage, he dares not come in, but is afraid of being eaten by us. Oh, what happened to you and him? Come and listen. The big Tianyao was immediately curious, and quickly took the charming Tianyao's hand. Charming heavenly demon chattered about the fact that they were plotted by Xuanzu with a shady trick, and in the end it was Chen Shang who rescued them, and then charming heavenly demon talked about the fact that he possessed Guo Lingshe to seduce Chen Shang. Chen Shang was in the hall outside, and he always felt that these four women were talking bad about him together. Brother, they're talking ill of you. Xiao Jing's sister giggled and said, oh, they are all so beautiful. It's a pity that you are lustful but not courageous, otherwise I can take you in to see how they take a bath. Girl Jing, you are getting worse and worse. Chen Shang rolled his eyes and said, what's so beautiful, there are so many beautiful wives of mine, which one isn't better than them? Well, speaking of it, I really miss them. They are sealed in a star field in the 100 Flowers Temple, and I don't know what is going on now. Maybe it will become very strong. Sister Xiao Jing said with a smile. Brother, if they come out and find that you are not messing around with flowers, will they think you are a fake little villain? Damn girl, go. Chen Shang was really speechless, and said, I am now the master of the world-defying universe, but I don't have so much time to mess around. Chen Shang thought about it carefully. Over the years, it seems that he has only harmed a girl like Guan Ying, and then Fang Qing. Fang Qing was an accident. It was even Fang Qing who set him up, which caused them to have that incident. Fang Qing is now with Kalian and the others, they are one body. Brother, I always feel that the star territory where the world-defying temple and the 100 Flowers Temple are located is not simple. Sister Xiao Jing said. Something must have happened inside them. I suspect that Tianxuan is hiding something from us. Girl Jing, why do you think so? Chen Shang was a little surprised. Even if those two star fields are sealed, they should be able to pass the news in, right? Especially with Tianxuan's strength, it will definitely help us contact them. Sister Xiao Jing said. However, there is no. Xiao Yuan Heart and Tianxuan work together, can't they contact the people inside? You mean, what happened, so Xiao Yuanxin and Tianxuan concealed it from us? Chen Shang asked. Well, in short, I think about this from time to time. Sister Xiaojing said. But they certainly have no malicious intentions, they probably don't want us to participate too much. Because you have a lot of things to deal with now.